Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. Here, we're just kind of doing a fun fill-in show because we weren't going to do a show this week because Logan's going away tomorrow, actually. But I
Yes,
figured
sir.
just do a little fill-in show tonight. So I figured why not just do my top 10 albums of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then I'll do an all-time. Obviously, I'm not going to sit there going through each song because we'll be here for 7 hours. So just
Yeah, I'll
going
be
to kind
asleep.
of be asleep. Logan's got his favorite behind him right there.
Right said Fred, man. Come on.
It's my number one of the 90s. Spoiler alert. Oh, no. So yeah, I asked Logan if he wanted to do it, but I know that's hard, not easy for everyone. It's again, this list could change
It
tomorrow.
hurt. It hurt
My
my brain too much.
my list has already changed like a few times. Like some stuff I bumped out and they're in honorables now. Like again, this is not set in stone. Like I can't even really. I mean, I can pick a favorite band. It's Triumph, but so for favorite albums, that was easy. For the top three, I found, but like for other things, it was just very difficult. So it was. And I'm sure as soon as the show is over, I'll hear a song or someone will post something on Facebook about an album, and I'll be like, I didn't even think of that.
Why didn't I think of that? Yeah.
So, oh
Cool,
boy,
man.
yeah, it'll be fun because we can go in the comments a little bit more since it shouldn't be too long of a show, so we can kind of it's just the two of us, right? So just
Yeah.
gonna kind of
Thanks to the 3 or 4 guys, people watching us right now.
Webb showed up. I thought you weren't
Yeah.
gonna make it.
Come on, Webb. Come on.
I'm too sexy for my shirt, so I should take it off. No, I'm not.
You want me to take mine off?
Ashley says hello too. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna hit on her.
Yeah, we're not gonna pull a Grant. Don't worry.
All right, so yeah, let's get started. So we'll do it decade to decade. I was gonna include 60s, but that was a little tough. It would probably number one would have been just the first Zeppelin album, probably. I was gonna
Yeah,
include
probably
that.
a lot of stuff past 68 for you, I'm guessing. Probably.
Yeah, probably. Maybe just Hendrix and maybe Cream,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, I was gonna start. I was thinking it, and I'm like, I gotta include Zeppelin in the 70s, and I'm like thinking, wait a second, no, it's 69. It's not 70, is it? It's 69. So
Right, yeah. Yep.
I was like, well, can't include that, and I was kind of relieved because I'm like, well, it's hard to leave off. So I love that first Zeppelin album. So, but yeah, I could have done 60s if I really wanted to, but I don't think the list would have been too surprising. It would have been like Blue Cheer and like all the heavy end of the 60s stuff.
Yeah.
White Album, maybe, I don't know, stuff like that. So yeah, we'll get started with the 70s, and we'll get some of Logan's thoughts. So just so I don't mess this up, I'm not going to start at the top one. I got to start at 10, so that makes more sense. I'm not going to do 1 to 10. I got all the CDs that I have. It's funny. So for my top 10 of the 70s, I only actually own 5 of them on CD because some of these are a little bit hard to find or really
I'll
expensive.
have to go through it and see how many I have. I might have 0.
So you might have 0. So for number 10, one of Kiefer's all-time favorite bands, and I'm being sarcastic. His favorite keyboard player, and singer of all time, Equinox. It's got to be my favorite Styx album by far.
Great album.
I love the Wood and Nickel era too, but for me, this is like the sweet spot. And John Cyrulewski was still like, he got Light Up, which is, I like every song on here. Light Up is silly, but for whatever reason, I still like that song. Light Up is great. Lorelei's an amazing song. Mother Dear, Lonely Child, Midnight Ride rocks. Like that's just a classic. Born for Adventure is easily my favorite Dennis D. Young song. Second would probably be Queen of Spades, which I know is Logan's favorite Dennis, but Born for Adventure just puts that over. And I love that old live footage of them playing a lot of the stuff in black and white. Whoever did the audio, whoever did the audio didn't know what the hell they were doing though, because there's what song was it? I can't remember what song it was, but you couldn't even hear Dennis. So like the part where it's like supposed to be them harmonizing in the chorus, all you hear is JY, and it sounds ridiculous because all you hear is his like aggressive rock voice when it's supposed to be. Can't remember what song it was. I think it was "Come Sail Away" or something, and all you hear is his voice, and it just sounded ridiculous. I'm like, okay, this is who the hell did your sound? It's like Dennis Mike's wasn't even on. So yeah. So Styx Equinox would be my number 10, and yeah,
great album.
Sweet Madam Blue, of course. But yeah, great album.
Some of their best hard rockers are on there. Midnight Ride,
Oh
Born for
yeah,
Adventure. Yep.
oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah,
Yep.
like this has got, like I said, it's got probably my favorite JY song with Midnight Ride, and my favorite Dennis with Born for Adventure. And then yeah, they still play Sweet Madam Blue live, and great stuff.
The
They
must
actually,
have.
I saw Styx, and I can't remember what year it was, but I did see them. Me and my wife went to go see them at Niagara Falls in the casino. And
Yep.
oh, I might as well show it. Got the pictures here. I literally could have grabbed JY's pick out of his hand, because near the end of the show, they let everyone like go up to the stage, because it was like a seated of a thing, but they're just like, everyone can come up right up to the stage if they really want to. You guys don't have to sit down. So we all just, yeah, where's my Styx pictures? Here we go. This is how close we were.
I don't think you've ever showed me these, so that's cool.
Well, what was cool is they brought back Chuck Panazzo out to jam with them near the end, and they did Plexiglass Toilet. I could not believe it. I think I was the only one singing along, because no one knew what the hell they were playing.
Oh yeah, that's a killer photo.
What else we got? We got I've got a Tommy Shaw guitar pick from that. They're throwing out the picks like crazy. So yeah, that was
That's great, man. That's good you got to see him. Yeah.
Really fun concert. And yeah, no Dennis was there, but I mean Gowan still put on a good show, and he did this cool part where he was like he would just kind of like just sing, just him, all like typical like classic rock staples, where he would just sing a line, and he would belt. He even like did like War Pigs, the opening line. He belted out "The generals gathered in their masses," and he nailed it. So he's just a great singer. So it was a really fun show. It was great. And then it was so cool that Chuck came out and jammed with them, and it was that was a really fun show. But yeah, Styx, Pieces of 8, be my number 10. So my number 9, I don't have a copy, but let's see. I can let me see.
I got 1 for 10 so far. So.
Okay, let's see. I'll screen share the image of it here. Let's see. Well, I might want to actually open a tab to show it. Let's see. So I'll tell you, it's "Welcome to My Paradise" by Alcana, and I'm not just saying that because Danny's been on our show, but I will admit it has helped elevate it, because he's such a decent, nice guy, and we've like had him on.
Yeah,
I've listened to this. I heard this album like probably 10, 15 years ago on YouTube, and it's just, I've always loved it. So it's really cool that he's actually become a fan of the channel. And
fan and a friend now. Yeah, Danny's a great guy, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad Sydney introduced me to this band, and yeah, it's just great hard rock.
So we got here, I'll show you the screen share it. So yeah, so that's the album cover there. I'm showing it from Amazon here, but yeah, that's the album cover. That's cool album, great album, just great hard rock. Like it doesn't let up.
Some progressive tendencies with the Tower and
yeah, from 1978. Should have said it's from 78. Just great hard rock, like not very long, but yes, just great album. Ends on like this 11-minute long song, "The Tower," that Logan just mentioned, and it's Danny's a fantastic guitar player, and it's just amazing that he's been on our shows now and he's become a good friend. So that's no problem including that in there. Like there was some stuff I had to bump out, and I'm like, wow, I did really fell in love with this album, and like I said, we played it on our music hangout, so you can go watch that if you want, and get the link for the album if you want to just listen to the album without us talking in between. So yeah, when Yes does an 11-minute song, said
well, there's a little bit of a difference there between Yes and Alcana, Kiefer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna turn this into a Yes bashing show. So
Webb watching us, think about this for a one and done if we remember. I know me and Sydney talked about that.
I can't believe we didn't. Yeah, stupid. We got to do this on. Yeah, that would be a perfect one and done.
Yep.
Convince Grant to have Danny on there, and we can just talk about his album. Everyone will be on their
cool, man.
Until someone rates it, I give this a 4. Kick this guy off.
That'd be good exposure for Danny, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun. So these next, my next 3 I actually don't own copies of, because some of these are just So my next 3 is, let's see, I'll screen share it for you guys. Oh my god, I should have just took pictures of all these, but that was a lot of, let's see. It's Rock City by Riot. That's my number 8, and it's
Great
got
album.
the ever so wonderful
Johnny the Seal, man.
Oh yeah, wonderful album cover here. So yeah, that's the not the greatest, but you know, not the greatest album cover by any means. So but yeah,
that was Johnny's first murder, man. He killed that guy. That poor guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like right off the bat, you got. I don't know. I like all the songs, and this is the kind of album I've listened to so many times. I look at the songs and I can hear the melody of it in my head and just know how it goes and sing along and like look at a song like Warrior. If that's
that's a precursor to everything that came out in the 80s, man.
For 77, it still has a 70s sound, but it's heavier. It sounds like it's got double bass drumming. I know Webb would be able to confirm that or not, but yeah, it sounds like it to me. And Mark Reale was a fantastic guitar player and just.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Just a
Guy Speranza, great vocalist. I mean,
it's another tragic story with this band. With Mark is now gone. He passed a few years ago, and even Guy Speranza died very young. Their singer. He left Riot like after just the 3 albums, right when they were sort of starting to get somewhat popular. But I guess he got disenfranchised.
He didn't want to do the rock and roll lifestyle anymore.
I guess he got disenfranchised with the whole thing. So then he decided to, oddly enough, his new career is what ended up getting him killed because he went into extermination, and he ended up getting pancreatic cancer from all the chemicals. So just, it
sucks, man.
Sad, great voice. And actually, he was actually the first one in mind when Scott Ian formed Anthrax. Because he was huge into Riot. They're from New York, so was Anthrax, and he wanted Guy Speranza to front Anthrax. He was the first one they thought of. So
crazy. I would have liked Anthrax more. Damn it.
Well, I don't know how that would work. It would have been interesting. Maybe a different sound, maybe. But yeah, what a unique voice. You hear his vocals and you know it's him, but he's got a unique voice.
That's what Riot. That's the best part about Riot too. All the vocalists that they've had are all different,
completely different,
but it all works.
Yeah, because they would adjust their music to basically how the singer sounded, but it was all good stuff. I don't think they have a bad album. It was
no.
Oh yeah, Ernesto. Who's
this Ernesto guy?
You said you weren't gonna make it. I thought you said you had to pick up your son.
Yeah, you said at 4:30, man.
But yeah, great. Oh, and there's an old live performance of these guys too, and they do like Overdrive and Warrior. I think there's Overdrive's another great barn burner. So
Warrior is one of them songs that just gets better every time you listen to it.
Yeah, I could see I could see a band like Maiden covering Warrior.
No wonder they haven't, because they like their obscure kind of covers.
Yeah, so that was my number 8 was Rock City. My number 7 is this album. Also Riot.
Another great series of lines of album covers here.
So it's their second album. I like the second one a little bit more than I like the first one, but what an album. He got right off Waiting for the Taking and Road Racing's the closer. He just got some awesome songs.
49er,
there's much to name every song. Even Kick Down the Wall, which I think is probably one of the weakest songs. It's still a great song. And
instrumental title song, yeah.
Oh yeah, the instrumental title. And I don't care, and I don't ever need to hear Born to Be Wild again, but I'll say this is the definitive version. I love this version of Born to Be Wild.
It's a great version, all energetic and rock.
It was already an energetic song, but they made this like a metal. I like what Cult did with the Duke by slowing it down, and they kind of put their own unique twist on it. But
I love that.
If I'm going to put on a Born to Be Wild, it's this. I don't ever really need to hear the original. I like the original, but I love this. This is a great. These guys nailed the covers. When they did covers, usually covers you're just like, what's the point? But to me, I like this. It's still great. It's a great album. It fits in well with the rest of the music. It doesn't seem out of place. Oh, yeah,
so, if you'd had to pick one song off this album, what would it be?
Probably "Hot for Love."
Yeah, that's a great one, man.
Because then you got the let's try to keep it PG rated, but at the end of "Hot for Love," there's a woman who seems to be having a good time with another
Yep.
man. With
Just a little bit.
yeah. I don't know if it's real or if she's just doing the moaning. I don't honestly know, but yeah. But the riff, the song changes at the end. At the end, it turns into, I swear to, it's the Phantom of the Opera riff that Iron Maiden would do like 2-3
Yeah, I
years
remember you
later.
telling me that. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
go and listen to Phantom of the Opera and the end of Hot for Love. It's the exact identical.
I love how in Hot for Love too, you think it's gonna end, like it's almost over, and then that riff comes in.
You think it's gonna end, and then I heard that, and I'm like, oh my god, this is Phantom of the Opera. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, okay, well that's cool though. I'm sure they influenced Maiden and bands like that. It's such a shame. These guys, I probably would have no problem saying they're probably my favorite American band, and think of all the American bands that exist. So just these two.
They're definitely more. I think they're one of the most underlooked bands for sure. I mean,
oh yeah, it's a road right. Yeah, it's just great song. Every song on here is great. Even like the weak songs. It's like, to me, these albums are both 10s. These the early Riot albums, they're just amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, even something that's short like White Rock. I mean, that's
my number 7 would be 1979's Narita, their Riot's second album. And then here, let's get into can't have a Canadian ranking without some Canadian bands. So we got, I'm sure Logan's not surprised by this one at all. Another classic album. Oh, it's not showing it. Hold on. I opened up another tab. Technical difficulties. Here we go.
Technical difficulties and slogans.
You gotta be on the, let me be on the right page here. There we go. It is this classic album.
Awesome album, man. Riding High.
Oh. Riding High. Riding High. Their third album.
Another band Sydney made me a convert for, pretty much.
Yeah, another classic album. To me, it's their best album. Every song on here. There's not a minute of boredom on this. It's
all high energy rock and roll. Yep.
Great band from Toronto, and unfortunately, another band with bad luck. You had Buzz Sherman on vocals, who sadly was killed in a motorcycle accident in '83, and he was actually going to probably join. I think they were working on reuniting the band, but it failed because he was still having some substance abuse issues, and then had that motorcycle crash, so that didn't work out. Seen Moxie 3 times, and each time was with a different singer. Actually, they had first time was with twice actually. I've seen them. First time was with a singer from a band called A Foot in Cold Water, who had that big huge hit in the '70s. Make Me Do Anything You Want was a ballad. It was kind of a cool song.
Yep. He looks covered later.
Yeah, he had a. Oh yeah, he had a great voice. So yeah, he suited the Moxie. He suited the Moxie stuff well, but then he left because I think he put Foot in Cold Water back together. But it was a great show. I met him. I met Earl Johnson, the guitar player, and I even met the whole band, and he had the drummer and bass player from Zon playing with them at the time. I got pictures with all of them. I don't have the pictures on me; those are somewhere else. But I don't have those to show. But yeah, I met those guys too, and I met Earl twice because I've seen Moxie twice, and both times he was just very friendly. Second time I saw them, he had Russ Dwarf, the singer from the Killer Dwarf, singing for him. Again, I got a picture with him. Super nice guy too. So these guys were all very nice and approachable, and just really appreciated that they even have fans still. I think so. It's one of those. It's a shame because what a great band. And this third album is just. Sometimes I'll say Rock Baby has my favorite guitar solo of all time. That solo on that song is just it's like a 2-minute guitar solo. It's like, calm down there, Earl. Jeez. But it's a great song. It's great songs. It got Nothing Comes Easy, which is like this kind of like, it's got like this fake crowd noise thrown into it, so it's a concert song. You got Rock Baby. Then it comes back later. Then you got Sweet Reputation. Let's not get too political, but in brackets, Symphony for Margaret. They were poking fun at Margaret Trudeau, who was the Prime Minister's wife at the time, and she was kind of known for getting around. So it was kind of poking fun at her.
No.
Because she always tried to act like prim and proper and everything, but it was a well-known fact that she was like sleeping with rock stars and groupie, and so. Then you got I'll Set You on Fire, Riding High, Young Legs, everything on here is just fantastic. And even actually, when the first time I saw them, Valerie Sherman was there, Buzz's widow, and talked to her for a little bit. She was super friendly too. No, yeah, she was very easygoing. She just loved talking about her husband, and yeah, she's
just makes you appreciate the band more when you know there's people, like that.
Oh, and people were approaching her all night, like, and she took the time to talk to everybody. She was very easygoing.
Yeah.
And this is my number 6 is Riding High. And now we're back to the ones I actually own copies of. I got to get copies of these other ones somehow. So then, so I can take this off the screen for now. So it's just me and Logan. Whoa, not that much me and Logan.
A little too close.
Extreme close-up. All right, so what are we at here? Number 5.
5, yep.
Sad Wings of Destiny, Judas Priest.
Keeper's favorite Judas Priest song is on that album.
Epitaph. Everyone, Epitaph is Kiefer's all-time favorite song. No, he hates that song. Anyways, so what can you say? Victim of Changes that's like the prototypical. If Priest plays a show without playing that, they're getting booed off stage. They probably played that ever since it came out, and I saw them open up for Whitesnake opened up for Priest, and they played I couldn't believe it. They threw in some older songs. They played the Ripper. So you got the Ripper on here. Victim of Changes, Dreamer, Deceiver, which is just that old live footage on the old Whistle Test in like what 70?
Yeah, with Rob
77, I think. Yeah,
Rob wearing his sister's shirt or something.
Oh, yeah, it was weird. And then he did that. When I was first, because remember I didn't grow up with any of this stuff. So like to me, I was just listening to it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. They have 2 singers. And I'm like, further investigation. Wait, that's the same guy doing that. Oh, crazy, that's like what? Okay. It was like, wow. I like, and then even like on a song like Tyrant, he's like harmonizing with himself. He's doing his own.
Yeah, and then in the chorus, it's like really them deep Tyrant vocals. It's like
live. It's kind of you're not gonna be able to do that live. You would have to use like a recorded, but I mean that's the issue when you do that.
Well, even like the Ripper, he's doing like a bunch of high stuff. He still tries to do it live. It's just hard to. You can't do all of it.
You can't. You could just use overdubs live, right? But and then Genocide's an underrated song. Island of Domination is awesome. He kind of uses like this bluesy. Like I love when I'm not gonna do it, but he does that little
bit of rock and roll kind of feels in that song.
Yeah, that's a great song. Epitaph, it's okay for what it is. It's total Queen. That's him like really going into.
They're definitely going for Queen,
Queen ballad, but it still doesn't ruin the album. It's still a really good album. Like to me, it would. I don't want to be like a 9.7 because of Epitaph, but still a great, amazing album. And this changed the game. Like. Sabbath was heavy.
Everybody was trying to do that after,
Sabbath was heavy, but it was kind of slow, heavy. I mean, you had some sort of fast song, Symptom of the Universe, but it wasn't really super fast.
Yeah.
This, you had songs this really picked it up in the heaviness. And
that's kind of, I always say Sabbath invented metal and Priest perfected it.
Well, he kind of, I guess he sort of took like the Ian Gillan vocal style in a way with the high-pitched screams, but just kind of expanded on it and just, there were just songs that get stuck in your head. Just a great heavy album, but songs that are memorable and still somehow catchy, even though they're heavy. And you can sing along to this stuff. So
I can't add anything to that. I love that album just as much.
And then here's another one. Let's see. I don't own this next one now. So now we're back to the stuff I don't own copies of. It's ridiculous, but gotta correct this.
Gotta pick up that slack, Sydney. Come on.
So here's this one. My next one. Oh, don't want to. Well, where's the option? There. Okay. Sweet Fanny Adams. So that's my number 4 of all time of the 70s from 1974. Another high energy, hard rock, heavy metal album, whatever you want to call it. Has a little bit of Queen, but if Queen on steroids.
Yeah.
It's it's a heavy album. It's just
another one I'm recently getting into, kind of in a way.
Oh yeah. It's what else we got on this album? Got so many. You got Set Me Free. You got so many great songs. Just
Sweet
the
FA.
title track. AC/DC is kind of the weaker, but it's still a great, just fun party song. But that is what it is. But another great album, No You Don't, Peppermint. Well, Peppermint Twist is kind of like a rock and roll, but it's still a great song. Into the Night is awesome, which is Andy Scott singing. I think Andy Scott's an underrated guitar player, and his vocals. Like that's what made Sweet great, was he had 4 guys that did vocals. Mick not so much, he did mostly background, but lead vocals, you got 3 guys doing. And I love Andy's voice on a song like Into the Night. But then he got
probably one of my favorites on there, man. I love that song.
Yeah, and that's Andy. That's him singing that. I think it's the only song he sings on there. But you got the weird, chaotic, high-pitched voice of Steve Priest doing a song like No You Don't. And then you got Brian's really cool, just strong rock and roll voice and on all the other stuff. Just great. Even Rebel Rouser, it's like a fun party song. You got Heartbreak Today is a great. Everything on here is just a banger after banger. I could listen to this album over and over again. Yeah, Sweet.
Great stuff.
Sweet's just a great band, and it was fun to do that Sweet show. And
if anybody missed that, go watch it.
We didn't play anything off of here, but we played the singles and the rare B-sides, so go watch that. And if you don't want to watch us, you can. The link for all these videos, any music that we talk about, is in the description, and you can go listen to the original album that's on YouTube. I made playlists for everything. And yes, Fanny Adams was a real murder store. So
nice.
So Sweet Fanny Adams, that's my number 4. Okay, and now these top 3, this is where I actually own copies of everything now. And it's buckle yourselves in, because the top 2 of the 70s is going to be the same band. It shouldn't be any surprise. But before we get to that, my top 3 from 1978, Logan. I'm sure Logan can guess what this is going to be.
The third one? Might be able to guess the last 2.
Stay in Class.
Never heard that album before in my life.
Some band name, Judas Priest? I don't know. Yeah, Judas Priest.
This can be our little tribute to Les as well.
Yeah, of course. We just lost about a month ago, but they just announced
March 15th. Yep.
March 15th, Les Binks passed away, the drummer on this album and Hellbent for Leather.
Yep. And the live album.
And Unleashed in the East. What's awesome is Les wrote Beyond the Realms of Death, which is my favorite, co-wrote, which is my favorite all-time Priest song. It's a ballad, but not really. I have a hard time. I have a hard time.
That's the best ballad ever. If that's
I have a hard time calling that a ballad.
Yeah.
However, and what makes it great, as soon as I hear that, I think of this, because Beyond the Realms of Death starts with the Sweet Madam Blue. To me, it sounds like it's the same. So I wonder
kind of chord progression, kind of.
Yeah, it's probably a very standard chord progression, but I think there was some influence there. I wouldn't be surprised, and then it just turns obviously into like this just full-on heavy metal song. So I have a hard time calling that a ballad. Yeah. But any album that starts with Exciter, it's just
and ends with Heroes End.
And Heroes End, and then even some of the bonus tracks they included, like Fire Burned Below, is okay, but that's not from the same year, so it doesn't really. That's not 70s.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, Saints in Hell is a great song. I wish it had a solo in it, but it's still a great. I love that whole.
Love that riff.
Love that whole Saints. Yeah, it's just that's how he does that echo type singing. Even the cover.
Better by You, better than me. Yep.
Even the cover, Better by You, better than me. Stay in Class. The title track's awesome. Invader. Savage, everything. White Heat, Red Hot. Everything is just. Again,
I will say this: if I didn't do this list, but this would be a top 5 ever for me.
There you go.
For sure.
I just think I don't know. Yeah, it's just they changed the game with this album. 1978. I always say there was nothing heavier than this, and then I will go listen to other stuff. There is stuff that's heavier, but the songs are great. Like they made songs that were heavy but catchy, and they stick in your head. So they're memorable songs. It's not just heavy and then it's just like, I forgot how the song went. Like everything.
Yeah, it's one of them albums to me. It just the second you hear it, you're always gonna remember how them songs are.
And for Les Binks to write, the drummer of all people, to write a song like Beyond the Realms of Death, like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's incredible that he wrote that. I wonder if he did like the guitar parts too, like if he wrote those and then just gave them to the band members. But yeah, it was just what an album. This would be my number one if not for my number 2 and 1, or
Two
yeah,
others.
number 2 and 1. Confused myself there. And then so
Little,
yeah,
little triumphant, huh?
yeah. I wonder what's gonna be my top two. Can anybody guess? Without I don't. Yeah, could do anyone who guesses my number 1 and 2, I'll give you $1 million. No, I'm gonna be
$1 million.
$1 million to guess my top two. Logan, you ready to be a millionaire? All right. So yeah, to no surprise, Logan's pulling one of them out. There you go. My second favorite album of all time from 1976 is, well, this is not the real. This is the re-release called In the Beginning, but the original, I have the vinyl. I should have pulled it out. But is the first Triumph album. It's my number 2. He got 24 Hours a Day, great party song. Be My Lover kind of has like that little talk box part in it, which is really cool. Don't Take My Life is like pre-Maiden. It's got that pre-Maiden riff. I'm not gonna go too deep into this. We already did this. Then yeah, you go watch our first ever episode on the channel. We talked about this. So
yeah, our virgin episode with Byron Bolt.
So, no, I'm done talking. Go watch that now. So yeah, for anyone that missed that, I'll just Don't Take My Life has a Maiden kind of riff throughout, and really dark song about someone who's being accused of killing their brother, and even their mother like shunned them. It's really weird, dark lyrics for a band that was usually known for positivity, but I kind of like this kind of thing. And then he does the Whole Lotta Love guitar solo, complete note for note. Yeah. But that riff that's going throughout is total influence on Iron Maiden. And then Street Fighter is my favorite Triumph song. It was hard to pick 1 and 2 for these two albums, but yeah, Street Fighter is my favorite Triumph song. Just a great high energy heavy metal song. And then What's Another Day of Rock and Roll kind of has that disco beat, but I still think it's a great fun song. Easy Life, it's probably the weak song on there, but I still don't dislike it. It's a cool song. It's the only song.
Don't let Mike Levine know that.
It's the only song that Mike Levine ever actually wrote by himself for Triumph, actually. So it's kind of neat that they actually that he did that early on. Then Let Me Get Next to You. Let Me Get Next to You is Rock and Roll by Zeppelin.
Rock and Roll. Yep.
But I love it. I still love it. And then you got the epic Blinding Light Show. That just that's a now that's a barnstormer. That's probably the closest thing to progressive metal that you'll ever find at like Canada in 1976. I mean,
for the time period,
you had Rush, but they weren't really at that direction yet. They were still kind of doing that bluesy hard rock thing in 76.
Yeah.
But this was that Blinding Light Show. What a great heavy song. Even that has a lot of Maiden. I think that influenced Maiden heavily. A riff like Blinding Light Show, that heavy
totally sounds like Maiden. Yep.
Totally. So then that brings me to my number 1 favorite album of all time, well, from the 70s, is Rock and Roll Machine. The original Canadian release, not the butchered US release where they took half the songs from the first album and cut off a bunch of songs from the original pressing of this. It's a shame. The rest of the world.
Byron's fault I bought this version of it.
Yeah. The world was robbed of this by butchering it and combining songs from 2 albums. I don't like when, I don't know. I always found that ridiculous when labels did that. But I'm not going to get too much into it. Like I said, we did this on the Triumph series. I'm going to go, it takes time, good high energy song, bring it on. I love everything on here. It's my number 1. If you want to see how I rant and raved about it, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Go watch our show, damn it.
And like I said, this is going to sound really dumb of me, but forgive me. I am 35, 36, 37 years old. I stopped counting. Oh, I'm 30. Yeah, I'm 37. So I never knew Rocky Mountain Way was actually a cover when I first heard it. I'm like, oh, it's an old Joe Walsh song. Okay, whatever. But so for me, this is the definitive version. I know it's probably sacrilege to people who love Joe Walsh, but I
think they do a good job with it.
It's
I mean,
always
either way,
it's
really.
actually played on the radio. It was, well, I haven't listened to the radio in years, but I remember hearing it on the radio all the time. We're gonna coming
Probably
up.
their first kind of radio hit, huh?
Coming up is Rocky Mountain Way, and then they don't even say the band. It ends up being Triumph. It's not even Joe Walsh. It's kind of funny, but yeah, my
yeah, probably completely different over here. You know what I mean?
these, like, even when we did the Triumph show, I had to like figure which one is first, which one is second, and it's just like I had a hard time picking. But
I knew me and him were gonna have a good show because when I picked this up and Rock and Roll Machine, and I was like, I never heard these before, and they're killer albums. I just knew we'd have something good going here.
So that see, I'll rattle off some honorables. I'm not going to sit there showing the graphics for all these. I got honorables for all these. I got a huge list of honorables for 70s because it's just so much stuff, and it's
your
hard
favorite decade, man.
Hard to do these lists. So for honorables, I got Sin After Sin by Judas Priest. I got Rainbow Rising. That pained me to leave it off, but Queen's debut, Jazz, Electric Jewels by April Wine, Kisses Hotter Than Hell, Styx, Crystal Ball, and all the Wood and Nickel stuff. I love all that stuff. All the early Kansas albums are on there as honorables. Yeah, there you go. Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy. Here's one that killed me to leave it out of the top 10, but I'm like, oh man, this one would probably be my number 11 if there was going to be an 11. Would be Top Priority by Rory Gallagher. That's gotta be.
I thought maybe you'd have that in there.
I thought I was, and then I'm like, oh my god, Rex Smith. Yep. It's gonna sound funny. The first Rex Smith album, where it was like a hard rock band, but I love that stuff. All the Stars stuff from the 70s. The first three ZZ Top, all the 70s Skynyrd stuff, that's on there. The first two Molly Hatchet, the first four Cheap Trick, those are all like honorables for me. These are all classics. I thought 10 to 10 was going to be easy, and then you realize how quickly 10 albums are picked, and you're like, well, what the hell? Some of my favorite albums of all time aren't on this list.
Yeah, Elle asked me if I was sharing mine, and I said I'd have a brain aneurysm trying to figure this out.
I could probably do like a top 500 albums of all time, and the 500th one would still be a 10 out of 10 album for me. It's ridiculous. There's just it's my favorite decade of music, so it was hard. 90s was easy, but 80s was difficult too. So we'll get to the 80s now. So this one I actually own most of. So let me see here. So my top 80s albums. Well, I'm not going to start with number one. That's doesn't make sense. So these first two I don't own copies of, my 10 and 9, but I own copies of the rest, so I'll be able to show those off. Makes it easier. So here's a band that Logan loves. No, not really. Let's show the tab here. No, don't worry, it's not that bad. Let's see. Got to get this up on the screen here. All right. My favorite, some days I call them my favorite German band, and I know Scorpions exist, and that's sacrilege, and there's Halloween, and Logan's probably.
How dare you?
Logan's probably already knows what I'm thinking, but it's this. Well, I didn't mean to cut him off. Well, where are we? There we go. Blind Guardian, Battalions of Fear would be my number 10 from 1988. It's just great German, I guess, power metal, heavy metal band, just great stuff. I listened to this. The opening track, Majesty, is just such a crowd song. I hope they do like a tour. It would be awesome if they did like a tour with Halloween. I would go see that in a second if they come to Toronto. That would be a real treat. Blind Guardian, yeah, great German heavy metal band. Battalions of Fear, their first album, just great songs right off the bat. Majesty, and it's a total crowd singer. They played it live pretty much every show. Great debut from just a great band, very underrated. And
it's a band I just never really got into much.
I guess it's Hansi Kusch's vocals maybe sometimes puts people off because he's got that thick German accent, but to me that's the appeal. You hear that accent in his singing, but I like that kind of thing. And Klaus kind of had that too, but
yeah.
But he's a great singer, and he actually started off as their bass player and singer.
Nice.
And what's cool is three of the four band members are still original, I believe. Let's see. So they've kept a pretty solid, and I've seen interviews with the singer. He seems like a really cool, great, down-to-earth guy, and everything's kind of amps it up a little bit too when you know these guys are cool. And like I said,
that helps. Yeah,
3 of the 4 band members are original, and they've been around since 1988. How many bands can honestly say that?
Not many. No.
Usually egos get in the way. And if you like it, if you're into like even if you're like a lyrics, really big into like reading and lyrics, all the lyrics are like Lord of the Rings inspired. Like there's songs like Gandalf's Return and stuff. Not on this album, but on here there's like the Martyr and Wizard's Crown. It's all inspired by J.R. Tolkien stuff. And yeah, these guys did a lot of reading. It's very inspired by a lot of the fantasy, and yeah, great metal album. They do a cover of Beyond the Realms of Death as a bonus track, not on this album, but they do a great version of it actually. It's a killer version of Beyond the Realms of Death.
Yeah, I definitely have to check that out for sure.
Oh, it basically sounds the same, but with a different singer. That's pretty much. Yeah. But they do it. They pretty much stay true to the original. So then that's my top. That's my 10 from the 80s. My number 9 here. Let's see. We got back on the list again. Not lyrics. This bad boy.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see it. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. There's the Riot. Restless Breed. Another great album by Riot. This time with is there a Harry Potter? Singer. No Harry Potter record. No. I don't think so.
They appreciate Harry Potter by a little bit.
I'd have to look into that. No, I don't think there's no Harry Potter. That doesn't make for good songwriting. Come on, you write a Harry Potter album.
Harry Potter metal, man. Come on.
Dumbledore's Revenge, like. How are you, Hermione? I don't know. Restless Breed, yeah, a great album. They're first with their singer Rhett Forrester, who also tragically was murdered. Not to make this episode dark or anything, but killed in his home of Atlanta, Georgia, where Webb is from. Webb?
Well, watch out. He hasn't commented in a while.
Webb left because he knew he was going to be called out tonight. Maybe he's on the wanted list. No, I think they did end up. Catching the murderers years later, but it went unsolved for a very long time, I believe. But yeah, he was shot and killed in a carjacking, like just I think 37 years old or something. But yeah, what a take the drumstick out of Webb's hands. Oh yeah, great album. I know people don't really rate this album highly in the Riot catalog. But for me, it's my favorite album of theirs from the 80s. I mean, they didn't have many 80s albums, but I think it's a...
Yeah, what, 3 maybe? 4?
Maybe 3 or 4 at the very most. Yeah, I guess 4. Well, yeah, because he had Fire Down. Yeah. But I like this. I've heard this. I think Sid likes Riot or just Dark Stories. No, I do not like the Stories. I'd rather him still be alive. No, it was a...
Could have more metal, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Great album. And... I don't want to spoil anything, but we do plan on at some point doing like a favorite cover songs show. So this will appear again. This includes my favorite all-time cover song. They do a cover of The Animals when I was young. Again, ignorant to this song being a cover. I heard it. I just thought it was an awesome song. I do like the original after I went and heard it, but they totally change it up, make it a metal song. They really nailed the covers, these guys.
Title track, one of my favorite Riot songs. I love Restless Breed.
Restless Breed, yeah, it's kind of like this, not slow, I guess, sort of, kind of like the slow, bluesy rock, just driving rock song. But then, the highlights on here would be CIA. That's just a song. CIA is basically ripping the entire thing. Basically, I got a license to murder, which is weird. It's weird to hear him singing these songs. I know there's this whole conspiracy about the government killed him. I'm like, I saw comments like that online before. I'm like, oh, come on. No, I don't think they cared about the guy from Riot singing songs about the CIA. to be honest. Like, it's not like they were a threat to the government. But yeah.
Too funny.
But it's just a shame because he's singing a song like CIA, and the whole song is basically about I got a license to murder and all this kind of stuff. And then there's a song, the last song is called Violent Crimes. It's all about crime in the city. And it is kind of weird to listen to it now, knowing what would happen to the guy. But yeah, it's a shame. We lost him way too young, 37 years old, murdered. Just totally something that should never have happened. He'd probably still be with us, maybe. But yeah. It's a shame, but great solid album. And like I said, yeah, love that cover that they did of When I Was Young, and their own stuff on there too is just amazing. I love Rhett Forrester's voice. These guys always, no matter who was their singer, they always hit out of the park with their vocalists. They never had a crappy or like average singer. I think Rhett was a great singer.
Rhett's kind of got more of a blues kind of
style, his voice, like I was telling you today, him and the singer of Helix, Brian Vollmer, it's the same vocal style. Has that aggression in it, but like a nice, it's not overbearing. He's got a good voice, good solid rock voice. I hear it especially on like some of their on the other album he did with them as well, Born to America. But yeah,
great album too. Yeah,
I think this album cover is probably one of their better ones. With the seal, I actually kind of like it how half of his face is a seal, and it's supposed to be like a businessman in a suit. I guess that's the CIA agent. I guess what that's supposed to be.
Turning into Johnny.
Turning into the Johnny the Seal. So yeah, that's my number 9. Again, from 1982, New York's Riot, with their 4th album, Restless Breed. Great classic heavy metal album, hard rock album, whatever you want to call it. So then now we get to the good stuff. No, I'm kidding. This is all good stuff. I say the good stuff because I actually own them. I want to own all this other stuff, though. I need to somehow pick up this stuff since it's going to be in my top 10. Some of them are just hard to get. So then or too expensive. So then, yeah, the rest of these I all own now. So, but clocking in at number 8 from 1980. It's kind of cheating because it was recorded in 79, but came out in 1980, so it counts. I guess we got to.
I'll give it to you.
You got to go by when it actually came out, right? So, get a job. Who?
Get a job.
I don't know. I don't know. Someone got into the pot brownies tonight, I think.
Uh-oh. Calling you out, El.
Yeah, Rhett was a great singer. Yeah.
Ernesto also said that would be on his list if he made a list.
Nice.
Restless Breed.
Restless Breed? That's cool.
Yeah.
So you get a job so you can afford the albums. Well, maybe my parents will just buy them for me.
Yeah, come on, El. Pitch in. Help your son out.
Yeah, it's like charity, basically. Oh, okay, so I can close this. I don't need to screen share any of these. I actually only. So yeah, Logan, come on, you got to know what it is. Recorded in 79, but came out in 1980. Debut album.
I should know.
Debut album that later got overproduced. Name rhymes with
Under the Blade.
Name rhymes with Butt Sang.
Oh. I should know.
On Through the Night, Def Leppard. Yeah. Come on.
I was thinking Twisted Sister for some reason.
No. Oh God. Yeah, he never produced them. No. Yeah, you got.
Well, no, but I think didn't they re-release Under the Blade, right?
Yeah, I do. Oh. Shh.
My bad.
On Through the Night is my number 8 from 1980. Even though
grab that real quick.
I could cheat and put this in both, make it a tie. And no, but it's 1980 is the release, so it's a 1980 album. Like I said, first Def Leppard album, and like that's an awesome album cover. I know people say it's cheesy, and I've seen people say this is a bad album cover, but I don't know. I think it's kind of got its charm, like a truck flying in the sky with a guitar on it.
Look at this beautiful made copy right here. Look at that. That's how the cheapins do it. When you can't afford it, El, this is what we do, okay? Look at this.
The guitar should have been, oh my God. This is an original copy, so, but the...
Hey, this might be too, you never know. I bought this from Joe Elliott.
Yeah. Joe Elliott. Did you have to pour some sugar on him?
That's classified.
On Through the Night. Yeah, great album. What's to say about that album cover? It should have been a flying V, and the truck should have been like V-shaped or something, so it could be a literal flying V. I don't know. So it's like a flying truck with the moon in the background, kind of a weird cover, but
it looked great on a shirt.
To me, this was like, I mean, High and Dry was still heavy metal, but this is a full-on heavy metal album.
This is the metal album, yeah.
This is the metal album. You got the most poppy song on here is probably Hello America, but I still think it's a good, fun, catchy song. Rock Brigade, I love. So I used to play this is really gonna sound nerdy. DC Universe Online. It's a online game you can play with other people, and yeah. There you go. And Rock Brigade was one of the character names I used to use, so it was one of them.
Nice.
It was yeah. It was perfect because I was a rock character. So I was made out of stone, so it was like perfect. Rock Brigade, no one's taking it. Haha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rock Brigade, the opening song. Sorrow Was a Woman. Sorrow Was a Woman. That's my dad's wedding song. No, I'm kidding. I'm not getting anything for Christmas. Oh, Sorrow Is a Woman. Yeah, great song. It Could Be You. Another just straightforward hard rock. Satellite, When the Walls Came Tumbling Down. Wasted. I think Logan would agree. That's
my favorite, man.
Quintessential. And they still will actually play that live. I'll give them credit. They do play that live. And that's where Vivian Campbell can show off. Because he's in Def Leppard now, so he could show off on a song like Wasted because that suits his style.
Yeah, I love that song. Yep.
Even Rocks Off is great. It kind of has like this bluesy kind of old. That's what I like about this because it was recorded in '79. I know it came out in '80.
Oh yeah,
has that
still got that '70s feel. Yeah.
'70s feel to it, especially on a song like Rocks Off, with that really cool riff. It Don't Matter. Another cool like. His vocals almost sound like Paul Stanley a little bit on some of this stuff.
Especially on the higher
the vocal delivery. Joe never sounded this good ever again. Like to me, this was. I mean, he sounded great on the next album, but yeah, this was to me. This is a Desert Island album. Originally, this wasn't on my list because I just never, for whatever reason, it slipped my mind. And I was looking at my collection. I'm like, oh my god, how did I? Yeah, I have to include this. Like, and I don't even really like Def Leppard much anymore. But like this, if I listen to Def Leppard, I know Logan prefers Hysteria, but.
Yeah, well, Adrenalize, actually.
Adrenalize, yeah. Logan likes to get rocked.
Oh, no.
But today he's going to answer to the master. Another great song. And then Overture. Yep. It's like 7-minute epic song that Def Leppard never really went into again.
No, they didn't ever do something like that really again.
Long song with changes. It's like 8 minutes almost, 7:44. And there's lots of cool changes and just, yeah, it's so different.
Yeah.
My Desert Island list includes Slaves and Mastered. Well, that might be mentioned later. So yeah.
Good album, Mel. Good album.
On Through the Night. That's my number 8 for the 80s. Then my top 10. Where are we at here? We got 7. This is Logan's all-time favorite band, Anthrax. Set him up there. I know Anthrax is not a big,
out already.
I know he's not a big Anthrax fan because the vocals kind of get lost on him, I guess. But
yeah, they're over here. I'm right here.
He's got a love it or hate it voice. It is really high pitched, but I love it. I love when he hits those high notes, and it's a go-to Anthrax album for me. I love Anthrax, the band, not the disease. Don't worry. Got a AIR, I guess. Yeah, I never knew what that stood for. If it actually stands for anything. I always just call it air, but yeah. It's a cool way of making the word air look cool. Put dots in between it. But he says AIR, so I'm not actually, again, I'm not a lyrics person, so I don't know really what the AIR stands for. Maybe Logan can look it up as I'm talking.
That is what I'm doing.
All right. He's on it. And then Anthrax is ruling.
Oh, Adolescence in Red.
Really?
Yes, wow. Sir.
Really then? Okay, that's weird.
It's a play on Rhapsody in Blue, apparently.
Oh, okay. They're being funny. Okay.
They're pulling a funny.
That makes sense. Anthrax always had a lot of humor in their songs. Like they had a song on one of the other albums, Effelneku Fessin, which is Nice Fucking Life spelled backwards. Totally ridiculous.
Crazy.
And then the NFL in brackets. I'm like, I'm surprised the NFL didn't sue them. But yeah, it's like, yeah, AIR, or other words known as adolescent. What did you say? Adolescence in red.
Yes.
That's so weird. All right.
Just call it AIR. Keep on thinking it's air.
Air. AIR, and then Lone Justice. I picked that as my. When I was on the Grants Rock Warehouse doing the favorite songs of '85. I picked Lone Justice from 1985, and great song, Lone Justice. It's thrash, but his voice makes it more melody, gives it more melody. That's sometimes I'm put off by thrash with the vocals. Sometimes it's a bit much. But for me, Joey Belladonna is actually a really good singer, and he's actually singing and not just screaming. So I find he's got a good voice. He can hit the high notes. And when it comes to thrash music, I prefer stuff like this with the higher pitched singing type vocals. He'll probably, if he ever sees this, which he won't, but he's got a very Steve Perry like vocal delivery. That's his kind of range.
Funny. Covers Journey, right? In his solo kind of.
He's got he does like the side gig where he covers like Journey songs and like classic rock songs. Yeah, great singer, and great album. Every song, Madhouse, Enemies, kind of a weird like march kind of song. Standoff, Aftershock, Armed and Dangerous is a really cool song. It's not even really a thrash song. Some of the stuff is pretty much just straightforward heavy metal. Others get the song like Gung Ho, which is really, really fast, and that's a thrash song. But then you got more melodic stuff like Medusa and Armed and Dangerous and even Madhouse. There's great melodies, even though it's a thrash album. There's great melodies, and it's not just noise. So I think it's a really great album, Spreading the Disease. I love that album cover. And I often wonder if they purposely named their albums so like it would be almost like one long running sentence, like Spreading the Disease Among the Living.
In a state of euphoria.
In a state of euphoria. Yeah, I was like, did they do that on purpose? So that's my number 7 from 1985, is Spreading the Disease. And I should have worn my shirt. I screwed this up. Anyways, I got a shirt of this next album. People probably give me some messed up looks when I walk around wearing this shirt. They probably think I'm a serial killer. But yeah, my number 6 is also going to be from Anthrax, their first album, Fistful of Metal.
I can get down with that.
I have a T-shirt of this and on the back it's got like a skull and it says like New York 1983 or something, or 1982, whenever they formed. I think 81, something like that. Yeah, first album, and the only album that they did with singer Neil Turbin, who I think's got a great heavy metal voice. And again, it's
much more in my liking to me.
It's heavy, but it's a good. It's not like, again, it's thrash, but it's heavy. It's not. There's still lots of melody and heavy songs. You got a song like Death Rider, and Neil's actually got his own band called the Death Riders, where he still performs all this stuff live. I know a lot of people I know a lot of people have a problem with his voice, but I don't know. I love it. It is really high pitch and shrilly, and he's going really hitting some really, really crazy high notes, especially on metal thrashing. Mad is it's the perfect balance of like headbanging music, but still melody, and you can sing along to it. I think it's just a great sounding album. It's very raw, just overly raw, where it's unlistenable, but like it's just. And then they do a cover of I'm 18, which I still, again, not crazy on cover songs typically, but I think they do a really cool, unique version of I'm 18 and do a job of making it their own somewhat. Panic, Subjugator, Soldiers of Metal, Death from Above. They even have a song called Anthrax, which is an instrumental song, which is a cool song. And you got Across the River, Howling Furies, like everything on here is great. And it was the only album with Dan Lilker, I think.
Yes, it is.
Only album with Dan Lilker on bass before the brother, what's his name? Frank Bello, Charlie's cousin, actually, right?
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Charlie, yeah. So it was the only album with him on bass, but I like how it says rhythm and wang guitar, whatever the hell a wang guitar is. just them being funny. Yeah.
Probably,
And Scott Ian's the ultimate rock star on rhythm guitar because he married Meatloaf's daughter. So there you go. There's a fun fact. The guy from Anthrax marrying Meatloaf's daughter. So,
strange, isn't it?
It is strange. Imagine, why did Meatloaf never get the job with Anthrax? Can you imagine Meatloaf singing in an Anthrax album?
Make him sing Indians.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Got a great voice. Yeah, great album. Probably, there's some, well, I would say this is my favorite thrash album, but there's another one just ahead of it. So
it's a great album, man. Yeah. I do like that one quite a bit.
We'll get
I guess it's just Joey's voice. I don't know. I'm weird with Anthrax. I don't know.
Yeah. Who doesn't like a little Anthrax? Come on.
Yeah. You got to have a little Anthrax in your life.
Just don't mail it to people. Oh my God. Can you imagine ordering an Anthrax CD and like, I'd like to mail out my Anthrax today? Oh.
No, not that kind.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I remember that was totally ridiculous when that whole thing was going down and they were trying to push the band to change their name. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like we named our band this a long time ago. Like, what the hell? It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. So yeah, we get to my number 5. My number 5 would be my favorite thrash album of all time, I would say. Logan probably knows what it is. It's another debut album by a thrash band from 1983.
Talked about it a little earlier. Yeah,
from 1983 would be Metallica, Kill 'Em All.
I just bought that. My dad gave me that.
I don't own a shirt of this. I should if there wasn't anything on the back of this shirt. Logan's pulling out the oh, you got the vinyl. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. That very realistic looking blood. No, it's obviously paint.
Very realistic looking guys though.
Yeah, oh my God. They look younger than you. They probably were. I think they were. I think they were like 18 and 19 years old on this.
Gotta have the color.
But this was back when Metallica had energy and was just an energetic, fun, heavy metal band. It's thrash, but it's that fine line between thrash but like old heavy metal. There's punk influences a little bit here and there, which is what thrash really is anyways. But yeah, like
sped up punk, right?
Pretty much, but with better vocals, I think. But yeah, I got this and then this. Don't they go well together? Aren't those like yeah, it's interesting
great
artwork.
Stuff,
that's for sure. If this didn't have like the cool skull, my shirt of this didn't have like the cool skull on the back with it says like Soldiers of Metal New York 1981 with a skull on the back of my t-shirt with this on the front. If it was just blank on the back of it, I would have this on the back of the shirt. Can you imagine? On the front is this, on the back is this. I'd probably get reported to the police, but like this guy's walking around with blood all over his shirt. Can you imagine?
Serial killer.
Cops show up. There's a man walking around with blood on his shirt. They show up and they're like, "You called us and wasted our time with this."
Oh man,
Kill 'Em All. Oh, but come on, it's not even graphic. But like that's so obviously paint. Like the creepy hand. It's like, yeah, Kill 'Em All. Well, it's better than what they were gonna call the album. Do you remember that? Yeah, it was originally called Metal. It was the original title of this. There's copies of it, and it's very rare. The original working title was Metal Up Your Ass, and there's a knife going through a toilet. It was like, okay. Really weird.
Probably a good thing they changed that, I'd say. Oh.
Yeah. You got So Kill 'Em All is my 1983, or my 5th from 1983, and yeah, you got Hit the Lights, Four Horsemen, Jump in the Fire. The solos on this album are just amazing. And like I said, Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, I think wrote most of the music, the majority of this. I mean, I guess Kirk Hammett plays on it, but
yeah.
But it's really great stuff. Just
probably James's best vocal, man. I love Phantom.
Oh, by far.
That song. Oh.
I love like the young, energetic Metallica. I mean, I don't mind some of the stuff on the Black Album, but when you listen to that and then you listen to this, it's like throw that Black Album away. It's good, but it's like it's compared to this. I'm sorry, there's no comparison. I could put this on and I could pick any random song off this album and then just listen to that song over and over again. So it's one of those albums for me. Desert Island album, Kill 'Em All by Metallica from 1983.
One of the reasons I'm here, man, is this album for sure.
So you're saying your parents made love to that album?
Well, you never know.
I hope not.
Hey, Motor Breath is a mood setter.
Motor Breath. They got that from a Judas Priest song. Motor Breath was a lyric from a Judas Priest song.
Metal Gods.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never knew that. That's interesting.
No, come on. You missed the lovemaking song. It was No Remorse.
No remorse, no regrets, huh?
Hit the lights.
It's a concept album about sex. See, we figured it out.
Concept album about the birth of Logan.
Seek and destroy. Seek and destroy.
Too bad you're not older than me and you weren't born in like 1983 or 84. The joke could work even more. Oh, it's funny. So yeah, this album was brought up earlier. Logan mentioned it and I shushed him because I knew it was going to be on the list at some point. So Logan's searching for it. I think he knows what it is.
I don't have it, sadly.
Well, he's got it there on the screen. It's the heaviest album of all time, is Right Said Fred. No, it's number 4 we're going with, and this is like some special edition with a DVD. Under the Blade by Twisted
Great stuff.
Sister. This is their, this is like one of the greatest debuts of all time. By a band that, I guess, by a band that became really, really popular. You could say this is like, for me, this is like one of the best debuts. Just like raw. Look at that. It's just, it's just great heavy album. The song Under the Blade. Oh my God, the screams that Dee does on that. It's from 1982, but a lot of these songs were like written in like the late 70s.
Oh yeah.
They were a bar band, like all the way back in 72, and went through like numerous singers before Dee. This was, some of the songs. Destroyer is basically thrash. Anthrax covered Destroyer. It's a great song. Under the Blade's been covered by, I think, Overkill. Yeah, Under the Blade. We are on 80's, Kiefer. It's Tear It Loose is a great fun song, and I guess that's the one that got the parental advisory sticker on it. It's Tear It Loose. He dropped some F-bombs in there. Day of the Rockers.
Shoot 'em down. I love shoot 'em down.
Yeah. Run. Bad Boys of Rock and Roll is kind of that we're not going to take it type song on here, but it's still not a bad song. I like it better, actually. Run for Your Life.
What a great opener for your career. What you don't know sure can hurt you.
Yeah,
that's a great song.
Right. Oh yeah, and right off the bat, opening line is "Good evening, welcome to the show." What a way to start off your first album.
Yeah.
And then this got a DVD of that whole Reading performance.
Awesome. Yeah.
This was like $12.99.
Yeah, they kind of took that tour over, man, or that show. They kind of.
And bonus interviews. This was like $12.99. I can't remember where the hell I even got this, but yeah. It's got bonus tracks. It's got the rough cut versions of the song too, but it's got Shoot 'Em Down's a fun like AC/DC kind of song.
Yeah.
Run for Your Life is a great. Again, Run for Your Life starts off kind of like just like the slow kind of sludgy riff where it's just like, okay, it's going to be just kind of like the slow song, and then then it kicks in, you better run for your life, and then it gets turned into the heavy riff, and it's just a great, fun, heavy song. And then Sin After Sin, another great one. Just everything on here. But Under the Blade is the song that got them in trouble with the PMRC because it was apparently about dominance and sadomasochism, but it was about the guitar player's throat operation.
Yeah. Yeah, Dee went up there.
The whole thing was ridiculous. Well, it's not a wild jump to think it's no doctors or surgeries are mentioned in the song. There's literally a line that says doctors in it. Like, clearly you never listened to it. Otherwise you would have heard the line where he says doctors, light shines in your eyes. What do you think it's about?
Crazy.
Unless have light shining in your eyes is some sort of bondage thing. Like, where are you coming up with this stuff? Like, and even if it was about that, it's a song. Like, move on.
Yeah.
It's funny because they think about the stuff that's been written now. Like, any rap song
100 times worse. 100 times worse than that.
Any rap song is 20 times. This is like children's music compared to like rap music of the day, like of today. Like, it's just songs about killing girls in clubs and But yeah, it was a great album. But this is the Twisted Sister album, best album that they ever did, as far as I'm concerned. Just it's a heavy metal album. If you only know the hits, like We're Not Gonna Take It and I Wanna Rock, which I like, I Wanna Rock, but if you only know
they're a lot more than that, though.
Those hit music video songs, go check out the Live at Reading Festival, and D is just is screaming up a storm. The band is on point. People are throwing vegetables at them because of how they're dressed, but even here, like it's just great, solid heavy metal, and like they influence the thrash bands, I think, because it's got a heavy sound to it. So,
a lot. Want to say hi to Tom there. I don't think he's ever been on the live chat when we've been live, so that's cool.
Yeah, hey Tom.
Yep.
Nice to have Tom here, actually. Yeah, that's cool. He's from the Tom's
our sound spectrum galaxy brother.
Yeah, Tom's in the Facebook group that we're in, where people are always like sharing music and stuff. So that's cool to see him here. So then, you got Twisted Sister was my number 4 from 1982. Stay Hungry. Oh my God, Under the Blade. Under the Blade, great album, amazing album. It's what's in my top 4. So yeah. Now we get to the top 3 here for me. So Logan's gonna be happy with these top 3.
I'll walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. A little band known as Iron Maiden. Somewhat of an obscure band that not too many people have heard of. They did 2 albums and that was it. No, got Iron Maiden here with their second album, Killers. This is my 3rd favorite album from the 80s, from 1981.
Might as well grab that.
Great album. Like, I remember there was a store here called HMV. They're still sort of around, but they're not really the same. But they used to be around, and you could find there was so much variety. It was the best music store you to go to for variety. They could be a bit pricey at times, but they had all the
How about that back cover though?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yours is different because you got the original vinyl. So this is like got the band shot there. But yeah. Another band with a vocalist that we lost too soon was Paul Di'Anno, of course, who just passed away not too long ago. Was it this year or at the end of last year? Yeah, Iron Maiden, great second album. And like I said, I went to HMV, this music store in Canada, and they had all the Iron Maiden albums up to, I can't remember what the newest album at the time would have been. I think it might have been like A Matter of Life and Death. So this is going quite a bit now. And yeah, I think I bought everything that was there. They were only $10 each. I'm like, screw it, everything. It's an Iron Maiden. And at the time, I really only knew the album Number of the Beast a little bit, like the song Number of the Beast, like the most popular songs. But I just said, screw it, it's Iron Maiden. I'll buy everything. And then when I heard this, I played these to death. Like, look at the songs and be like, oh, it's this song. It's this song. The only one I'm not 100% crazy on is Prodigal Son, but it's still a decent song.
Love that song, man.
It's a cool song. It is different. You know what? It's different than anything else that they ever did. So you know what? There's lots of variety. So I will. It's not a horrible song by any means, but everything else on here is just so much more amazing than that. But it's still a good song. But like the highlights for me is the second song. I guess it's the first song, but it's the second because you got Ides of March is like a little intro into Wrathchild, which is Wrathchild. Wrathchild is a great song, great opener. This title track, Killers, is amazing. That scream, yeah, shredding his vocal cords on that. What a great song.
Love it.
Title track, Killers is my number 3 album of the 1980s from 1981. And then keeping with the same band, number 2, the debut Iron Maiden album.
I was gonna grab it. I should have grabbed
it. Right off the bat. Yeah, I like this one a little bit more than Killers. I know most people will pick Killers as their favorite Iron Maiden album or Number of the Beast. So then you got, so right off the bat, you got Prowler, Sanctuary, Remember Tomorrow, Running Free. Running Free was a big hit right off the bat, which is just kind of a fun, but I love the bass in that. I love the bass in Running Free. That
probably their most kind of punk styled song. It is very
very catchy, but I love that song. I never get tired of hearing that song, even though it was like the hit, I guess. But you got Phantom of the Opera, like I said, that has that Hot for Love riff that Riot had on Narita, which we mentioned earlier. going throughout it. And then Transylvania. That's like to me, that's their best instrumental that they ever did was Transylvania. That's a great
Love
song.
it. Yeah.
Strange World, kind of a cool, like sort of ballad, I guess, but it's a heavy metal song still. Charlotte the Harlot. It's a funny song, kind of, when you read it and they kept that trilogy alive. They did this whole, like, every album they continue like a storyline of I guess this prostitute, I guess Charlotte the Harlot, and they kept that storyline going. It was and then of course you got the song Iron Maiden, which they still play live to this day. So yeah, it's one of those few rare cases where you got a song called Iron Maiden on the album Iron Maiden by the band Iron Maiden. They play it live all the time. It's an okay song. Kind of get sick of hearing it live all the time, but I still do enjoy it when they do play it. So it's I've seen them 2 or 3 times now. I'm not big on Bruce's vocals on this older stuff though. It's like,
yeah, he can't pull it off like Paul could, man.
It's weird. It's just too different of a voice. It's not even Bruce's fault. It's just such a different vocal style. It's like, it's like asking.
Yeah, I mean, he does what he can do with it. I mean, it's hard to.
Yeah.
It's just like I can't hear Paul singing Invaders or
No, it's like asking. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a comparison.
Nobody really sounds. Who sounds like Paul Deanna?
No one really. He's got like a raspy voice, but
it's just weird to me. I really shouldn't like his vocal as much because it's a kind of like punk thing, but just the aspect of it. I mean, just the music and everything that he does with it, it just works for me. I mean,
yeah, 8 o'clock Shadow. Yeah, 821 Shadow. All right, so my number one is my number one album from the 1980s. I will go on record as saying I'm the only one that has this as their favorite album of the 1980s. I mean, I can't. There's no way of proving that for sure, but I'm pretty sure. Logan knows what it is. Actually has the word prog in it. Progressions.
Yeah, so it's progressive.
It's not progressive at all. There's no prog on this entire album. So it's kind of a misleading title. Progressions of power, but it's the power that's progressing. So it's not progressive rock. So their power is progressing, I guess. Yeah, my Rush Light. Oh no, sounds nothing like Rush. Kiefer,
you're banned from the channel.
Yeah. Where's the Rush Light? Where's the put user in timeout, ban user and delete their? No, I'm not gonna do that. Not Rush Light. Go listen to, if you only, like I said, Logan loves Allied Forces, but like if you only know that kind of stuff, like the hit songs.
Oh yeah, this is kind of a different animal compared to.
This is nothing like the stuff that got them compared to Rush. Like totally.
How about
different.
this gatefold, or how about this inner sleeve?
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you got like I said, I'm not gonna get too much because we already talked about this on our Triumph show. But I Live for the Weekend, just high energy song, just with Gil on vocals. I Could Survive should have been a huge hit. In the Night, kind of like a cool, not bluesy, I guess.
Love that one.
It is sort of like a really bluesy guitar playing in that actually, in the solo. But it's not it's not a blues song, but the solo's bluesy. It's hard to describe it. It's kind of got the David Gilmour feel on his guitar on that one. Really good guitar playing and vocals from Rick on that. Nature's Child, that's a top Triumph song for me. And Dave Mustaine's first band, Panic, when they were just a cover band, they used to pick like obscure covers from bands that they loved, and they covered Nature's Child. So that's a really cool song. And then Woman in Love's a great one. The only and we've talked about this on the show. I know it's weird to say this is my favorite album from the 1980s when it's not a perfect album. It's like a 9.5759, 2.345. I don't know. It's almost a 10, but it's got Take My Heart, which is
the best song ever.
It's an acoustic ballad, like, I don't want to say elevator music because it's not really. It's more like,
I could see an elevator music version of that being made.
Yeah. Although if that came on in an elevator, I would love it. I'll say that because it'd be cool to hear Triumph in an elevator. And they're playing Triumph in an elevator. Take My Heart. No one knows this song.
I need time cannon when I'm going up the flight of stairs.
Well, you don't want Tear the Roof Off playing. Take My Heart. Yeah, the vocals are great. Like, he sings it really well. It's just, I don't know. I can't with that song. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird placement. Like, right in between two great songs, Woman in Love and Tear the Roof Off. But it doesn't drag the album down too much because it's not very long.
No.
Like 3 minutes, something like that. It's not too long of a song. But, and then, yeah, Tear the Roof Off, just fun, high-energy rocker with Gil screaming. Finger Talking is just like an acoustic flamenco styles guitar thing. It's short, but it's actually really cool. And I think that works well on here, actually. And then, yeah, Hard Road closes it off with a... But yeah, this is my #1 album of the 80s. And
it's a great album, man.
Progressions of Power. And it's usually ranked lower among Triumph fans or in the catalog. But I guess I'm weird.
I wish I could. I think I had it kind of high. I think it was 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I've listened to this just so many times, so that's what I base this list on. Like, I can say these are my all-time favorites of this year. The list could change tomorrow. I'm going based off of how many times I've heard these albums. So this, for me, this should be more my most played albums of the 70s and 80s. Would have been a better title than my favorite, because like there's other albums that are probably on par with some of this stuff, really, in enjoyability. So this is not like set in stone. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, nothing is better than this. It's just my favorite albums of 70s, 80s, and 90s today. Tomorrow it might be different. Like, it was already different. It was already different yesterday. There was already some stuff I had to kick off, because then there was albums I thought of, and I'm like, well, I like this one a little bit more, and I've heard it more, so can't leave that off. So we got some. My honorables. That's a long list of honorables. Not going to get into that. Yeah, long list of honorables. Not going to go detailed, but yeah, got my honorables here. Would be Spellbound and Crazy Nights by Tigers of Pantang, which we talked about in our first 2 episodes of this, or the first episode
great albums,
of the Sykes show. And then I got Follow the Blind, which is Blind Guardian's second album, which was like '89. So, and then you got every other 80s Maiden album. Basically pretty much every album. You got Number of the Beast, all these. I couldn't believe I didn't have Numbers of the Beast in there, but just other albums I've played more. But yeah, Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, Seventh Son, all that 80s Iron Maiden stuff. I love all that stuff. I don't think they did a bad album in the entire decade. So all that other Maiden stuff.
Tom, good comment. Honorable mentions would require a scroll.
Yep.
Be like,
oh yeah. And then what else do I have for on? We got Thunder and Lightning, Thin Lizzy, Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules by Sabbath, obviously, and Holy Diver, Dio, Among the Living by Anthrax, Walls of Jericho, and Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 and 2 by Halloween, Fire Down Under by Riot. I love that album, but Restless Breed I like a little bit more, and there's some other albums on this list that I've listened to just more than Fire Down Under. It pained me to keep that off there too, because I love Riot. High and Dry, Def Leppard. Here's one where Logan's gonna leave the show. Cocked and Loaded by LA Guns. And some of the other LA Guns. I like the debut. I like that LA Gun stuff. So I like that 80s. They're one of the heavier hair metal bands. They kind of got thrown in there again, but yeah, they're more Guns N' Roses than they are Poison. I'll say that. And Tracy Guns is actually he just formed Guns N' Roses, so he's a fantastic guitar player actually. Breaker by Accept.
Love that one.
That's a good one. Feed the Fire and Taking Over by Overkill. Those are there in honorables.
Yeah, Taking Over probably being mine. Oh God, I love that album.
Alice in Hell by Annihilator.
I'm surprised that wasn't in there. I thought it would be.
Europe's first album and Wings of Tomorrow, the first 2 Europe albums. And like I said, Pete Pardo talked about this on Sea of Tranquility. If all you know is the final countdown, go listen to these first 2 Europe albums, because there's no keyboards really. There is, but there's not really on those first 2 albums. It's guitar.
Scream of Anger.
Oh, Scream of Anger, that riff. And he doesn't have a heavy rock metal voice. He's just got a clean vocal style, but he's a great singer.
Yep.
I love those first 2 Europe albums. Mechanical Resonance by Tesla.
Great one, yeah.
This is where it's just we talked about this album yesterday. Logan's Gonna Laugh, the Sheriff debut album, their only album. I like that album a lot. I threw that in there. All Shook Up by Cheap Trick. I know a lot of people kind of crap on that, but
that's a great album.
I like All Shook Up. Yeah, and that's barely made the cut because that's 1980, right? So so that barely qualified for an 80s honorable. But yeah, Vices by Kick-Axe. Gotta have that in there. The first two Helix albums from 80 and 81. Those are really cool albums, different than the stuff that made them more popular in Canada. Here's where Logan's really going to leave the show. But I think Logan likes these albums by this band, but hates everything else afterwards. He has his funny nickname for this band that he always uses. The first two Motley Crue albums. Yeah,
I'll give you those, man.
Yeah. I mean, I like Theater of Pain and some of that other stuff, but they would not be in honorables for this because and I'm sure I'm leaving some other honorables out that I'm just not thinking of right now, but that was my honorable list. So then here we get So we get to the top 10. This is all going to be stuff that Logan has never heard. Well, no, that's not true. Okay, so we got most of it. But this gives me a chance to show off some more pictures and stuff. So, all right. Where are we here? Where did I put it? Did I get this out of order? Where the hell? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Because I switched it around, my order. Okay. So these ones I actually have a copy of everything but the fourth one. So starting with number 10 in the 90s, my favorite album of the 90s. Gonna go with Helix, which we just talked about shortly. Album called
I gotta check that out. I love that album.
I don't think there's a lot of stuff I don't think you would like. Some of it does dip its toe into the hair metal stuff, but a lot of it, there's Wheels of Thunder and Heavy Metal Cowboys, ridiculous title, but it's a great song. Some songs you might not be. The Storm's a great one. Running Wild in the 21st Century was a big hit here in Canada, and The Storm there was music videos actually for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs out of 11 had music videos that were played on rotation here in Much Music Canada. So they were pretty
crazy.
Huge. If you're a rock fan and you don't know Helix in Canada, then you're a poser. Even if you don't like them, you gotta at least know them because they're one of those bands in Canada you have to know them. That's just one of those bands that everyone in Canada knows. They sort of broke a little bit in the States, but not really. I don't think they did.
No, I wouldn't say definitely as much as they did for you guys.
No, but they did land opening slot with Dio, so they toured with Dio and opened for him. Great album. And
I'd say like No Rest for the Wicked, Walking the Razor's Edge, Long Way to Heaven. I think those three did okay here, but after that, I wouldn't say the rest of them did that great.
Like I said, I saw them in this tiny bar. I could have walked on the stage. Like that's what they had the original guitar player with them still. He was kind of in and out of the lineup. Brian Vollmer kind of it's basically the Brian Vollmer project. It's named Helix, but it's Brian Vollmer's band. He's a singer. I don't think he ever really had falling outs with the members. It was just sometimes it's just not the touring and the music thing's not for you, right? But I've always been in and out. But that's the original guitar player. He's been in and out of the band like probably so many times with them, but I think he's still with them again. But yeah, if Mike Lodano sees this, he'll be proud that I picked Helix because he's actually a good friend. Because they're from Kitchener, which is where Mike Lodano is actually from, and I'm not too far from there, about 20 minutes from there. So they're a cool, good Canadian band. And what else? Let's see. There's some cool pictures here to show off. They had like a young guy playing with them too at the time, and he was a pretty good guitar player. But yeah, that's there. But here's the good pictures. There's I don't know where the hell I'm looking in the camera. I look miserable. This guy, he was so friendly, and here I am. I look like I'm pissed off. I don't know what the hell. I wasn't looking at the camera. I don't think I realized the picture was being taken or something. But he was super friendly. Like everyone was just like lining up.
Get this guy away from me.
After the show, it was like so organized. Like after the show, it was like everyone's single file up, and I'll sign stuff and take pictures with everybody. And there was no charge for it. Just it was in a small club. And then in the parking lot, I saw the guitar player. he was just kind of like hanging out, like talking to people near his car, and I kind of didn't really want to bug him, but I said, whatever. Well, I approached him. The people he was talking to just kind of like walked away, and he started talking to me and my mom, who was with me, who brought me to the show. And yeah, he just started talking. He was very down to earth, and yeah, there's a picture. He's got wearing a T-shirt that says security. He made that comment. He's like, sorry about the security guard T-shirt. Yeah, I guess now you'll have to tell everybody you met the security guard at the Helix show. He's a funny guy, but yeah, super down to earth. Talked to him for a couple minutes. Very nice guy, but both very approachable, very easygoing. No egos there, just super nice guys. And yeah, it was great meeting those guys. Just very cool, fun guys to meet. So yeah, that was my number 10 for 1990. Is Back for Another Taste. I don't know if Logan will be too crazy. He'll probably like a few songs, like some of the heavier stuff.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Some of it dips its toe in a little bit of the Poison kind of stuff, but there's some great songs on there. I think you would like probably the first 2 songs a lot. There's some AC/DC influence on there for sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's just catchy, straightforward. Yeah, parking lot pictures. Yeah, my mom remembers those because she took that picture. Can you take a picture with my son? Yes, no problem, ma'am. He's gonna have to tell everybody he met the security guard. So funny. He got a laugh. He was laughing because of my stupid look on my face. Oh my god. Then yeah, that's my number. Then my second one, my number 9 from 1990. I know these next 2 get crapped on by fans of this band, but I don't get why. I love these albums still. I don't care what anyone says. No Prayer for the Dying by Iron Maiden from 1990 is my number 9. And nice. I know everyone likes to pick on Yannick Gers because of the whole throwing the guitar around. He's kind of the third guitar player, and they kind of don't really give him much to do on stage. But I don't know. You got 3 guitar players, right? I mean, I like Yannick. Actually, when I saw Iron Maiden, the side of the stage where we were standing on was Yannick's side. So the whole night was basically looking at him. And it was kind of amusing. Like, yeah, I'm listening to the music, but I'm like sitting there watching him like throw his guitar up in the air and catch it. And I'm like, I don't care that he's barely playing the guitar. He's just having fun. But
yeah.
And he is playing. He was playing. Like, it's overblown where people say he's not even playing the guitar.
Oh, yeah. It's not like he's not doing anything.
No, it's just they got 3 guitar players, right? And he's not original. He joined them later on. But he seems like he's probably a funny guy. He's up there throwing the guitar around. Oh, yeah. We're pretty close. Like, he was pretty close to where I was standing. I had pretty much really good seats, really close to the stage. It was just a good fun show. Yeah, Yannick throwing his guitar around. So it wasn't so close to the stage the first time. Second time was a little bit closer, but yeah, it was great album. You got a Tail Gunner, is a great strong opener. Love that song.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah,
I know people pick on Holy Smoke because it's kind of silly and it's like your typical
I like that song too,
song poking fun at televangelist kind of thing, and that music video is totally ridiculous. Where they're like riding in the truck and they're dressed up as like preachers and they're smoking and then they're playing soccer and it's like, what the hell? Just them having fun though and goofing off. I got an appreciation for them when I saw that music video. I'm like, okay, these guys like to have fun. They take the music seriously, but they still like to have fun. You watch that video and it's like, people will say, oh, that's cheesy. This is not serious music. But it's like, I don't know. You got to have fun in life, right? Can't be all just...
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, yeah, you got Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. I Don't Care. I still like that song. It's their kind of attempt at like an AC/DC sort of kind of song. But,
yeah, and that was going to be a Bruce solo song, right? Or something like that.
Totally ridiculous, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, but it's a fun song. I like it. And there's some good deep tracks on here. Like, I like Mother Russia. I think that's cool. No Prayer for the Dying. The title track's a good one. All the songs on here I like.
Yeah, Hooks and You's pretty good, yeah.
I could give this a 10 out of 10 because I like every song. So it's like, I know people say, oh, this is Maiden fell off and they got more commercial, but I don't really hear... I guess probably because
either way you look at it, somebody's gonna bitch about if they kept on going progressive with Seventh Son. Like if they made another progressive album, People
Yeah.
would bitch about that. So I mean,
I guess it's
you know,
because lyrically they usually wrote songs about history and society and stuff like
yeah,
that.
there's none of that on there. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is,
well,
'cause
Mother Russia. I
you
mean,
got Mother
yeah.
Russia, Fate's Warning, The Assassin, all this kind of stuff still sort of deals with war and that kind of stuff. But then again,
Yeah.
it's because of the songs like Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, I think is why people crap on this, because it's totally ridiculous. But
Probably the main song. Yeah, that's probably why.
still a solid album. I don't care. I love this album. So that's my number 9 from the 1990s, from 1990, No Prayer for the Dying. Then sticking with the same band, the follow-up to that, Fear of the Duck, as Bruce sings it. To his accent.
Fear of the StreamYard Duck.
Fear of the Dark. Yeah, great album. I don't care if people crap on this too, because it's a little bit more mellow. There's no heavy songs, but I still think I don't think that's true. I think Fear of the Dark, I don't get tired of hearing Fear of the Dark. It's a great song, especially in a live setting.
Yeah, it's a concert anthem now, man. They always play it.
It's interesting. That's such a cool album cover.
Oh yeah,
that's really cool with Eddie in the tree. I think that's
probably
really
still
cool.
Derek Riggs, I'm guessing, or
it's
no?
Real cool. I'm not sure if he did this album cover. To be
honest.
honest.
It says it's the first not to be designed by Derek Riggs. So
but it's still engineered by Martin. Yeah, still produced by Martin Birch, so he was still with them. And then yeah, Be Quick or Be Dead. Oh, that's a great song. That's a heavy song. So if you say this album's not heavy, Be Quick or Be Dead. That's an awesome song.
It's an album opener, yeah.
They played that actually. The one show they did, it was a Somewhere Back in Time tour, I think it was.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they threw in Be Quick or Be Dead when I saw them, because they were doing all the older stuff, and they threw that in actually. And
I have to listen to that, man. I mean, I know I've listened to it, but it's been a long time all the way through.
When they did that, was it Air Force One? I think it was, or Ed Force. Was it
Ed Force One? Yeah,
no,
I think it's Ed Force.
It wasn't for that, but it was for another performance though. They've done so many like DVDs and stuff. One of the DVDs that they did, I'm not in the video, but I'm in that crowd somewhere. Because it was
cool, man.
The Toronto show was used for. They used Hallowed Be Thy Name from Toronto for the DVD. They took a song.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They took a song from every. I guess they took a song from every city. Well, not every city, because they would have performed in tons of cities, but like from every song that was on the live DVD was in a different city. So Toronto was where they used the Toronto footage from Hallowed Be Thy Name. And I remember when we were at the concert, they announced it too. This is being recorded, by the way, so all you motherfuckers here are going to be famous. I'm like, what? That's not in the DVD. I think they edited that part out. But I remember being there live. It's like, yeah, they're not going to keep that in the DVD. But you hear them screaming, "Scream for me, Toronto!" Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be in a DVD. Well, not really, because you can't see me, but yeah, I was there.
You're there, yeah.
I'm one of the people screaming. Yeah, this was a great show. Yeah, not to get off track. Fear of the Dark would be my number 8. Weekend Warriors, like the AC/DC song on this album, almost. Yeah. I think that's a great song. But yeah, From Here to Eternity's fun. Another AC/DC song, kind of. They were going more for like a straight hard rock direction almost, but it was still heavy.
Yeah.
Still had that Maiden guitar soloing sound to it. I still think it's great. I think Yannick had a lot of influence on this though, right? Because it's a lot more in a hard rock vein than the typical. And I think that's probably where.
Kind of from that kind of stuff, yeah.
I think that's probably where people have a hard time with it, is because it's not the Maiden of the 80s. But for me, it's still good music, so that doesn't dip it for me. I still like these. Then here's an album that we've talked about already on our show during our Triumph series. It was picked as one of the trivia.
Got that one handy.
One of the trivia ones. Oh, you know what it is. Okay. Well, yeah. Dehumanizer.
Oh, yeah.
By Sabbath. It's a great album. You had Computer God, just a heavy, heavy song. This was Sabbath. This was a real, I mean, I like all that Sabbath stuff, but this was a real return to form for Sabbath with Dio back in the fold. And unfortunately, it wasn't meant to last, but yeah, like Time Machine, I love that song. Like, we did a show on this, so if you want to go back and watch what we said about Dehumanizer. But yeah, after doing that show, this got elevated into my 90s was difficult because there's not too much 90s music that I'm into. So, but it was kind of easy to throw this one in there when I'm not really a big 90s guy in general. So most of all these picks are going to be older bands for the most part. Yeah, Dehumanizer, great album, and
I couldn't find it.
Really cool album cover, I think, with the guy being electrocuted by the cyborg.
Well, and I love the lyrical themes on that, kind of Ronnie talking about, robots and technology taking over.
Yeah.
And that's 92, right? I mean, that's pretty,
even I know it's not people's favorite song. People like to crap on it, TV Crimes, because of the music video. I don't care. I love that music video. It's funny. It makes me laugh. The guy, the TV running over, getting stolen from all these people. It's like they took it literally because the song's about televangelists, but they don't do that at all in the video. I guess they wanted to make it a little bit more lighthearted, and they didn't want to offend anybody with the video. So they turned it into literally a TV being stolen. It's literally a TV crime because you're stealing a TV. Totally ridiculous, but it's funny.
Well, I know Davey Cretin was listening to that today because he's getting ready for our Dio show. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That has talking to you about Buried Alive and Too Late.
Oh, yeah.
Great track, man.
I think that has Dio written all over it because I think Dio strikes me as a guy with a really good sense of humor doing that TV crimes. Yeah. And then here we go. I was just telling Logan, I told him about this was gonna be. I was listening to this earlier before we started. I was just because this was a late edition. I didn't really originally have this. I had to bump something off for it. And this got added to the list. It was and it made it up to number 6. It's a band that I'm not sure how many people really like, but I don't care. Great White. This is the censored cover with her submerged in the water. Because the original.
Got that somewhere. Maybe I can find that.
The original, she's showing off a lot more than you see her. Yeah. But isn't this kind of worse? Because in this, it makes it look like she has no chance and she's going to be killed. In the fully exposed nude shot, it's like, hey, she's actually going to make it. So, I don't know. I guess that's how you look at things. But I think it's a great album. It's from 1991. 91. Great album by Great White. You got Call It Rock and Roll, which is just a fun, upbeat song. Original Queen of Sheba's cool. Cold-hearted.
Rest in peace to Jack.
Yeah, rest in peace to Jack Russell, of course. Great singer. He, again, another band that got unfairly lumped in with hair bands, but they're more of like a bluesy Zeppelin band. Well, they nailed Zeppelin. I have a great
I love that version of Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. That's better than Zeppelin to me.
I have a Great White Salute Zeppelin live CD. It's all Zeppelin songs live.
Is it called Great Zeppelin, Sydney? Is that what it's called?
No, it's something else. It's actually no.
Okay.
It's it was something else.
They might have put it out a couple.
I think it might have been like Great Zeppelin Part 2 or something, but it's different. It's not the one.
Okay.
It's not the one you're thinking of. No, this was something else. It was all live though, because I know there was like Great Zeppelin and it wasn't all live, but this was all live.
Yeah.
But they nailed it. Like even like Stairway to Heaven was amazing. It sounded amazing from these guys. Like I think they started off as a Zeppelin cover band, so it's not surprising. But he's got great. He nailed the Robert Plant vocal delivery. Great underappreciated singer, and sadly passed away. So then there's the whole, of course, that whole tragedy in the fire, which they got all blamed for. But I mean,
unfairly,
fans aren't really responsible for safety regulations.
And Sydney was showing me, he was listening to this album a couple hours ago, and he had it on Heartbreaker. Oh God. Heartbreaker is one of my favorite songs on there, man.
It's a great one. The only one I'm not crazy, they do a cover of Afterglow by, again, this band keeps coming a lot. This is Small Faces.
Yep.
So
they cover Angels too, right?
And they can't. I didn't know that was a cover. Can't Shake It. I think I did because I saw the names of who wrote this, and I'm like, okay, well, these aren't the same names as everyone else on here. So I thought maybe it was outside songwriters or something. But yes, it's an Angel. I did go and listen to the Angel version of it. They didn't change it much. They sped it up, I think. They sped it up. The original's a little bit smaller.
They kind of did the same thing they did with Face the Day.
Yeah, Can't Shake It. Great cover of that song. Desert. To me, though, the highlight is Desert Moon. I love that song.
I love Desert Moon. Yeah.
And the sad part is that's the song they were playing apparently when the fire started. And they refused to play it live for like 4 or 5 more years after that because it was too touchy for them. They just felt it was just too close to home. Anytime they thought of that song, they thought of the fire because it was traumatic. They just
terrible, man.
And it's just a shame. They finally did start bringing it back once time went on, but yeah, it's a shame. They got unfairly blamed for that, and yeah. Oh yeah, if you watch interviews with like Jack, he'll talk about like anytime he goes anywhere now, he's always like checking fire exits and all this stuff, and he's just like, I don't trust anyone that has my best interest in heart, because it's like it's a shame.
Yeah, traumatized them, man, for sure.
Just a shame to think like a rock band would totally ridiculous. But luckily they were dropped of all the charges. I think it was whoever the person that set off the pyro was the one that was held responsible.
Yeah, they should have known, man. I mean, you got that small, small area. They should know when it worked.
It was like it wasn't even pyro. People were thinking that they were setting off they made it sound like they were setting off fireworks in a club. That's not what they were doing. It wasn't really pyro. It was like a little, I guess it was like kind of like just like a stand with like a flame coming out of it or something. And I guess as soon as it hit the ceiling, it was like made out of styrofoam, and the roof wasn't even like up to code or anything, and it just went. And they even had the fire marshal in there ahead of time, and he cleared it safe to use this, and by the fire marshal even. Yeah, it was
crazy.
Totally crazy. So there's just a lot of negligence. A band's just there to do a show. Like they're not thinking of any of this thing. So yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Rest in peace, Jack Russell. And yeah, great album. Great. So that's my number 6 from '91. And then we get to the heavier stuff, I guess. It's a band that Logan still needs to get into. I keep pushing him to try to get into this band, but it's another
get there one day, man.
Canadian band. So they're oh boy, third album, I believe. Yes, be their third album from 1993 is Set the World on Fire by Annihilator. Yeah. The cool album cover with this girl just kind of sitting there
is that supposed to be the same girl from?
And there's like a doll there, like a Raggedy Ann doll, I guess, sort of like a cool album cover, kind of weird, but nice. Great album. It's thrash, sort of. I have a hard time calling this. I didn't even really call this a thrash album at all. Really, there's barely any thrash on this whatsoever, and maybe like 1 or 2 songs, but it's more melodic. And this album actually had what's his name? Had the credits in here are so funny. Backing vocals: Jeff Waters, silly and weird vocals on Brain Dance. Like how it says silly and weird vocals. And it's a great album. It's Aaron Randall was the singer. Sorry. It's a great album. He was already there. So every album they seem to like have a different singer. So like Annihilator, I remember watching an interview with Jeff Waters, who's a fantastic guitar player. Great at playing rhythm, great at playing leads, and he sings. He actually did vocals on a lot of some of the other albums. He handled vocals sometimes as well. But it's basically the Jeff Waters project with a band name attached to it. And he said this in an interview. He was doing an interview and someone like walked by the window that they were doing this interview in, and they kind of like looked in at them. And the interviewer was like, well, what the hell was that? And Jeff Waters goes, I don't know, maybe it's one of my 40 former band members here to kill me. He's like, yeah, a lot of people. He's like, I remember I had to do a thing for the website and list all the band members that had been in the band. It was like 40 something, and people just think this guy must be like this dictator who's impossible to work with because of all the people that have been in the band. But really, it's just a solo project, and it's Annihilator just sounds cooler than the Jeff Waters band or whatever. So he brings in whoever wants to work with him at the time, whoever's available. He did actually have a guy. Can't remember his name now. Dave Padden, I think it was his name, or Dave. He had him on. He had him as a second guitar player, and it worked really well. And he actually kept him there for like 6-7 years, and was with maybe even longer. Like later in the 90s and 2000s, and he co-wrote a lot of Jeff allowed him to like co-write a lot of the songs with them. I couldn't believe when he left because he added a lot to this band. He wasn't with them at this. He wasn't with them at this point, but this is a great album. Like there's Set the World on Fire is probably the only song I would call thrash, and Snake in the Grass maybe, but there's some weird songs. Like there's a song called Brain Dance, and there's a part in this where it says here, it's even credited, it says Jeff Waters does the silly and weird vocals on Brain Dance. So there's a part of the song where he's singing in this really weird, like high-pitched voice, and he sings, "This song is very silly and it makes no sense at all because it's weird." And then it just goes into this heavy riff and he goes nuts on the solo. It just, Brain Dance. It's just like this really weird, funny song. Night Jumps Queen, a song about chess. It's like, what? Okay. There's a ballad on here, Phoenix Rising. It's an acoustic ballad, but for whatever reason, I've always loved that song. The singer kind of has a little bit of an Axl Rose style vocal, a little bit on some of it.
Yeah,
a little bit. It's a great album.
See, Mike Mangini's on this album.
Yep, there's a shout out to Kiefer. Mike Mangini from Dream Theater played the drums on this. So that's a cool little fact there. Yeah. Not to get too depressing, but Snake in the Grass helped me get over a stupid teenage. I guess I was 19, over a stupid relationship when I was young. So it's a whole song about, whole line about, "You're just a big disgrace, get out of my fucking face." And it's just,
Thank you, Jeff Waters. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff Waters, for venting out my frustration with your song. Yeah, from everything I've seen on Jeff, he's a great guy too, and great solid guitar player. And awesome. They get thrown aside as just another kind of like forgotten thrash band, but they are great. He's worked with everybody. He was before Marty Friedman joined Megadeth, when Annihilator only had actually I don't even think they had their first album yet. They just signed a deal for their first album. He was offered the second guitar position in Megadeth, and he turned it down because Annihilator had just been signed, and he said, "No, I'm just kind of working on my own thing right now." But yeah, it's history. You never know. But then, you know what? We wouldn't have got these Annihilator albums. Who knows?
Yeah.
But knowing how things go, Jeff probably would have lasted a month. Don't know how that. No, apparently he's actually good friends. He's actually stayed friends with Mustaine. So apparently they've toured. I think they did do shows together actually. Annihilator opened for Megadeth not too long ago, a couple of years ago or so. But
nice.
Great band, and very just underrated. They're so different than any other thrash band, and they don't just stick to thrash. There's other songs that are completely not thrash. Like I don't know. It's hard to describe their music. They're not just a thrash band, just great, memorable songs. So that's my number 5. And same band, we're going for my number 4. I don't have this one. I gotta pick up a copy of this. Let's see. It's called Never Never Land by Annihilator. This is their
great cover. I love that cover.
Second album, Never Never Land. Here we go. Yeah, wicked album cover here. So that, where's this one, Never Never Land by Annihilator. This will be my number 4 of 1990, or sorry, the 90s. It is from 1990. It's their second album, and this album actually features how do I say his name? Coburn or Coburn?
I think it's just Coburn, isn't it?
Coburn. Sorry, Coburn Farr. Horrible pronounce.
I think it's Farr, Sydney. I think it's Coburn Farr. I think
Coburn Farr, who also died just in February of this year, actually.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. Yeah.
Rest in peace to him. It's seems a lot of tragedy today. Jeez. Yeah.
Hey, what a downer.
Yeah. he just passed away in February, but he also sang for a heavy metal band called Omen on one of their albums, which people kind of criticize it because he's not the original singer and he kind of came in later, and people kind of knock that. But I don't know. I think he's got a great voice. He's a good singer.
Yeah, he's good in that band. So yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you've ever heard this album, but
no, I need to. Oh, because Coburn's on it. I mean, I like Escape from Nowhere. So.
And again, the thing with Annihilator, there's so much humor in their music. Like you have the songs that are more got serious topics, but they broke it up with a lot of humor. So it's not like a whole album of just down or depressing songs about society. There's like fun songs. There's the first song is called The Fun Palace. It's wicked song. There's a wicked solo in there. Road to Ruin, Sixes and Sevens is awesome. The chorus of that is awesome. Stonewall, which is kind of like they're somewhat, I guess you call it political. It's more society based, about people were polluting the earth kind of thing. That's what Stonewall is about. And there was a music video for Stonewall, actually, that got played on like Headbangers Ball and stuff. Yeah, it's Stonewall. That's a cool music video for that song. Never Neverland, the title track is awesome. Imperiled Eyes. This is where they would throw their humor in. They have a song, I'm not kidding, called Kraft Dinner, which, if you don't know, in Canada we have Kraft Dinner. It's the same as like Kraft Mac and Cheese, but it's called Kraft Dinner here. They changed it, so I guess they couldn't get technically sued. They left the T off, so it's Kraft.
Yeah, see, it's KRAF.
And let me pull you up the lyrics here, just for cupboards bare, I'm so hungry, life ain't fair, give me some money, macaroni maniac, a cheddar cheese heart attack. I love Kraft Dinner, and every time he says I love, he gets higher pitched. It's funny. Boiling water, I can't wait, it's getting hotter, it feels so great. And it's the macaroni maniac part again in the chorus. And, well, that was fun, but now that I'm all done, now sedate, I think I'll buy a crate. What? But it's a good, heavy, fun. It's short, like 2 minutes and 40 seconds, but it's funny. It's funny. It makes me laugh every time I hear that. Puts a smile on my face. Him screaming, "I love Kraft Dinner." It's totally ridiculous, but it works for whatever reason. And then you get into more serious. Then the song "Phantasmagoria," which is a great song. And then "Reduced to Ash," "I Am in Command." Solid. This is a 10 out of 10 album as well for me. It's a great, solid album. It was recorded in Vancouver. I think that's where I think Jeff Waters was born in Ottawa, but he based himself out of Vancouver. I think they moved out west, but yeah, great album, and yeah, underrated. Very mastered by George Marino, actually, who's a pretty big name. So
nice.
Yeah, great band. Jeff Waters, just another underrated talent. Proud that he's Canadian too. We take pride in our Canadian musicians here. He's a great talent that doesn't get enough credit. And like the fact that he was offered to join Megadeth before his first album, how Mustaine even heard him, as I don't know how that happened, how he found him, and yeah, apparently Rust in Peace was heavily inspired by their first album, Alice in Hell. They admitted it. I was reading something today where they Marty Friedman said they were listening to a lot of Alice in Hell when they recorded Rust in Peace. A lot of like the technical aspects of it, and yeah, he's a very technical guitar player. He's very underrated. But even like I said, they would do fun songs. Like what do they do? Even when they did covers, they did cool songs to cover. There's live footage of them doing Riff Raff by AC/DC. Jeff Waters is singing that one. So he's singing and playing the guitar on that. He's doing both, singing Riff Raff and playing it. It's awesome. And
nice.
He's headbanging the whole time and making goofy faces. You want to hear some AC/DC? It's like everyone starts cheering and going. And that's the thing with Annihilator. Like, because their music is so diverse, the fan base is a little bit more lenient with the music they do. There's none of this, oh, this album sounds like this, is not that. Like, they could play AC/DC stuff live and people won't go, oh, I don't want to hear AC/DC or a thrash band. They kind of cater to the thrash crowd and the hard rock crowd. Their fan base is kind of very dedicated and will just buy anything Jeff Waters puts out. Like, it's a very dedicated fan base, and there's none of this, oh, this sound doesn't sound like the previous album. Or everyone seems to, for the most part, like everything that they've done, I think. Yeah. Every album is different. Like, they never made the same album twice, which for me that's great. Don't want to make the same album twice. And then
right, yeah.
And then they also there's live footage of them also doing Hellbent for Leather, which is
I think there's a bonus track on one of these versions.
Which is I can't remember what singer. I can't remember if it's Coburn doing it, or no, I think it's Aaron Randall. I think it's the one.
It's on Set the World Afire.
It's on Set. Yeah, I don't have that, unfortunately, but I don't have the bonus, but yeah, it's Aaron Randall. He's the one doing it. Yeah, cool live version of Hellbent for Leather, and then I think from the same show they're doing Riff Raff, but the guitar player handles that. Jeff Waters handles the vocals on that too. So then we get to the top 3 of the 90s. Another band that's been mentioned twice here already. Got Anthrax with Persistence of Time. From 1990s. A lot of these are top 10 90s. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th one from 1990. So a lot of these barely made the cut because they're all 1990. Half of them were probably recorded in 89. All came out in 1990. So there you go. I was able to pick these. Yeah, great songs. Time, Blood, Keep It in the Family, In My World, Gridlock. Just they still kept it heavy. Like Anthrax is a good band. Riot and Anthrax. There are 2 New York bands in here. So yeah, great. Another great thrash album with Joey Belladonna. I love his voice. I know so not everyone's crazy about his vocals, but I don't know. I like it. It's heavy, but still lots of melody. It's not just and nothing else. There's lots of melody to go along with it, and it's well performed. And what a cool album cover.
Yeah, I like that album cover.
And then what else we got here? So then we got so the top. There's the top 2. This is stuff I've told Logan before, but he's not going to have any clue. I don't think anyone watching this is going to know. Maybe a few people. We got the debut album by another Canadian band. They did really well here for a very short time. They were like the new hot band. They were nominated for a Juno Award, which is like our Grammy. And this had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 music videos out of like 12 songs of the first Sven Galley album. And that's a cool album cover. This guy screaming on the front. And again, another band where we've lost a guy. One of the guitar players, Dee Cernile, died from cancer. Oh, it's been a while now. I think he was only like in his 50s, maybe 50. He died young too. Got sick, had cancer, and yeah, unfortunately. But if you like Slave to the Grind, era Skid Row, you'll love this. Except I will say this guy's a better singer than Sebastian Bach. He's not as kind of high. I don't know. I like Sebastian Bach, but sometimes he can get a little bit nasally, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
This guy's a way better singer, I find. But it's if you love that kind of really heavy Skid Row from Slave to the Grind, even the first album, there's a little bit of that. They were totally influenced by that. But yeah, I think what hurt them, this came out in 92. And then for whatever reason, the next album didn't come out till 95. And they went to Seattle. They went to Seattle. I did actually pick that up in a used store. I'm not crazy about it, but I figure, I'll just buy it anyways. It's cool to own it because it's very hard to come by. Yeah. They went to Seattle and recorded a grunge album as the follow-up in 95. Because I guess the musical landscape changed and there was no room for this kind of music in 93 anymore. So they kind of came around. It's a shame because 4 music videos, I think it was 4 or 5 music videos for this. And yeah, and there's live footage of these guys playing outside in Whistler, British Columbia. And it's like, I'm pretty sure it's in the winter time. And they must have had heating on stage or something because they're shirtless. In the winter time in Canada, in Whistler, British Columbia, which is near the mountains, here everyone in the audience is wearing like winter jackets and gloves. Here are these guys in there in their ripped denim shorts, and the singer didn't have a shirt on like the entire show.
Crazy.
But they must have had a heated stage or something. Otherwise, you'd be freezing to death. You'd bouncing around stage, and they put on a great show. They were spot on live. Nothing perfect. It was like listening to and you could tell it was not lip synced or faked. Like they were such a good live band. And it's funny at one point, it was part of the show. He wasn't doing it like he wasn't pissed off at the crowd or anything. It was actually supposed to be part of the show. Was he started throwing? I guess because the stage was kind of close to like the ground, like it was one of those stages that was level with the ground, so you could just walk off the stage. And so he's picking up snow off the ground and throwing it into the crowd, and it turned into a snowball fight with the band. It's hilarious. It's on YouTube. Look up Sven Gally snowball fight live, and you'll see the band throwing snowballs into the crowd, and he's like flipping people off, and they're throwing snowballs back at him. But it was in fun. It wasn't like this angry thing where he was pissed off at the crowd, but they were just goofing off and having fun. At one point, he pulls his pants down and moons the crowd. It's like, oh my God. Pretty sure someone threw a snowball at his ass when he was mooning them. It's pretty funny. It's just like, it's great. It's great footage to watch. It's so funny. That's great live band. What a great album. Like the highlights, I would say there's some heavy stuff, Stiff Competition. And no, it's not a Cheap Trick cover, but it's great in your face, heavy song. If you love Slave to the Grind, Logan, I know you would love this album because it's
I need to listen to it.
This would be like a third Skid Row album, basically. But I think it's actually I actually like it. I like it more than the two Skid Row albums. You got Here Today, Gone Tomorrow was another great heavy song. Their big hit again was a ballad called Love Don't Live Here Anymore. But that had a music video. It's kind of like it's kind of their what was that Mr. Big song? I'll take this off the screen.
Yeah, what is it? I know what you're talking about.
More Than Words. Yeah, it's kind of that.
Broken Wings, right?
Extreme, More Than Words, kind of similar to that, but it's a little bit. It's not as commercial. I think it's a better song. But yeah, there's great songs on here. They do a cover. I don't know if you're familiar with it. These guys were from Hamilton, Ontario. They covered another band from Hamilton called Teenage Head.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know.
The song was called Disgusting, not disgusting, but Disgusting. They do a really cool cover of that.
Nice.
A lot of songs. It's like 50 minutes. It's a long album, but it doesn't seem long when you're listening to it because every song is a 10 out of 10 for me. I like every song on here. It's just great, solid, heavy metal, and it's a shame it got lost. I still got the explicit lyrics advisory sticker on the back of it. What a cool!
Keep it away from the children.
What a cool album cover. Yeah, it's just a cool album cover. The guy screaming on the cover with purple and kind of weird. But yeah, it's great songs. A song called Freaks with a Z at the end of it. It's just every song on here is great. In My Garden, Sweet Little Gypsy. Just great album. My number 2. And I think Logan probably, if he can remember this band name, he might know what's coming for number 1. I've mentioned the band to him before, and the singer I have met. So show off that picture actually as well. Is Slick Toxic.
Oh yeah, I listened to that after you talked to me about it.
Okay, also you did check this album out. Okay.
Yep.
What did you think of it?
I liked it quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, I only played it the one time, I think, but.
So you got again. These guys actually won a Juno Award for Best New Metal Performance in 92 or 90. No, in 93, because they performed one of the songs "Hell of a Time" live on the Juno Awards, and I guess they won for Best Live Performance at the Junos. So basically a Canadian Grammy with the song "Hell of a Time." So that was their most well-known song. Same thing. They ended up doing a follow-up. I like it better than the second Sven Gally album. I think their second album was better because it sort of went in the grunge vein, but not really. It was heavy, and there was still lots of good soloing. It was a heavier album, the second album, but this was like the true sound. So you got, look at those dangerous-looking guys in a washroom. Kind of the tail end.
That's a crazy album cover.
Yeah. So I met the singer, the guy in the middle, Nick Walsh. He's actually really cool. He's actually like he actually sang for Moxie actually for quite a few years. I never got to see him with Moxie. They ended up re-recording they did like a best of like Moxie album called Riding High Again and re-recorded all the songs with him. I thought he nailed it. Like he did a good job. He was a great singer, but yeah, that's Nick there, Nick Walsh. He was really young. The guy still looks the same. Like I met him, I'm like, how the hell did I age since 92? But you didn't. I mean, well, that's simple. I was like 5 in 92, but you know what I mean. He was met him. He was really so. How I met him was I went to go see a band, Traveler. They're kind of like a more They're a more newer band, but they have like this really 80s sound to them. They're one of like those newer bands that are. I think Pete Pardo actually talked to them with Rich Catino on Sea of Tranquility. I think they came up. They were one of the bands that came up. So what it was there was this show they were doing at this small place called the Rock Pile. I've seen Michael Schenker there. I've seen Y&T. There's another band I left out of my honorables. I could have picked some of those early albums, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Michael Schenker there, and Y&T. Who else did I see? I'm probably forgetting, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, I saw this band Traveler there. It was a free show. It was the guitar player of Traveler. I guess he was getting married, and as a celebration, it was just like a party for like friends and family, but it was open to the public, to anyone who wanted to come to the show. And you had like the option to like donate money towards like the wedding. I felt like an idiot because I'm like I felt weird giving money to someone's wedding. I don't even really know the guy. It's kind of strange. So I was just there to see the show, but I went straight to the merch booth. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta buy something. I'm not just gonna walk into their family event and just say I'm here to watch the music for free. I went straight to the merch booth, bought both Traveler CDs that they had. I bought a T-shirt, so I spent money there. I bought them. I'd rather that than just So I showed them support in that way. Bought some merch from them. But how I met Nick, the singer from Slick Toxic, he was the uncle of the girl that was marrying the guitar player from Traveler. So, and I know they announced before the show, they're like, a local legend is going to be in attendance. If you know the friends or the family of the band, I'm sure you can guess who it is. I had no clue. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, who the hell's going to be here? And then I saw him, and it's funny because I was just listening. I was just Welcome Album, Doing the Nasty is the name of the album. And it's funny because I was listening to it like maybe a week before I had it on. And then here I am in some little small bar in Toronto, and here comes Nick Walsh walking in the bar. And I was like, really? Like, guy from Slick Toxic? I was like, oh, okay. But I kind of, no, I knew it was going to be him. I was just waiting for him to come in because I sat down at like a table, and this one guy comes up to me and he's like, oh, I guess you're here to see the band. I'm like, well, yeah, that's why everyone, because everyone there was mostly all family and friends. There wasn't too many people that were just like random fans. A few people did come in a bit later, maybe like 4 or 5 other people, but it was mostly like a family and friends event. We felt really weird going in there at first because it was all like family and friends of the band, and here we are to see the actual.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Yeah.
But then, this one guy comes up to me and my wife, and we're just sitting there at the table, and he comes up to us, starts talking to us, and he's like, oh, by the way, I'm the guitar player of the opening band. You're actually getting 3 bands tonight. You're getting, it was 2 bands, I guess. You're getting 2 bands tonight. We're opening up for Traveler. We're a Metallica cover band called Liquor Messiah, but we're only covering up to Master of Puppets. So it was all stuff from the first 3. It was all Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and Master of Puppets. And they put on, it was like you close your eyes, you swear you were at a Metallica show. It was just, holy crap. Yeah, and the guy just approached me, and he was like so nice. He just comes up to me, starts talking to us. Says, oh, you're here to see the, like, just talking. And he's like, oh, do you know who the special guest? He's like, do you know who it is that's going to be showing? I asked him. I said, oh yeah, I noticed a thing on Facebook. You guys posted like a local legend is going to be here. And I was like, who is it? Are you able to tell me? Like, or is it a big surprise? He's like, oh, it's not a big deal. I can tell you. He's like, have you ever heard of the band Slick Toxic? I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, he's my uncle. I'm like, oh, okay. So this guy was the brother of the girl marrying the guitar player from the Traveler. So it makes sense. It's all one family, right? He has like his Metallica cover band. Yep. So, and they were great live. And I met every guy, all the guys from Traveler, all the guys from the singer from Liquor Messiah that was doing the James Hetfield thing. I go into the washroom and he's in there taking pictures with people in the washroom. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't bug him, but I was like, yeah, it was kind of funny. They put on a great show, and then at one point, so I was all hyped because I knew Nick Walsh from Slick Toxic was going to be there, and then I saw him walking in, and everyone's like swarming him and like saying hi and shaking hands with him, and I did go up to him at one point. He took a picture with me. It was really cool, and let's see, I asked, where is the? Oh, I don't have it here. Let me see. Let me see here. Where we got the Oh, I know what I can do. I can do my little settings here with my virtual background. That is where are we here? Pictures.
Tom got a kick out of Liquor Messiah. You like that?
Yeah. Oh, it's a horrible picture of me. But anyways. There's Matt Nick.
Hell yeah.
Pretty cool. I love his shirt. He's got, what's that band? Unstoppable Force is the album. What's that band called? I saw that shirt and he was wearing. I'm like, that's an obscure metal band. Jeez.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Agent Steel, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Agent Steel, yeah. An Agent Steel t-shirt on. I was like, this guy's wearing an Agent Steel shirt. I was like, yeah, he was really cool. Very easygoing and just, yeah. And then he, at the end, I asked him, I'm like, are you going to play any like Moxie songs? Because I know you were in, he's like, no Moxie, but we're going to do some Slick Toxic. He said, we're going to do two. We're going to do, he said, I'll join them at the end and we're going to do 3 songs. We're going to do, I'll take that off. Let's see. Virtual background, none. Yeah, he told me, I asked him, I said, well, what songs are you going to do? And he said, well, I've always wanted to sing King Diamond because I know that stuff's really challenging to sing. So we're going to do a Dangerous Meeting. We're going to do, what else did they do? Oh, I Was in Heaven. He literally played like 3 of my favorite songs by 3 bands like that I love. So he's like, oh, do you like Dokken? I'm like, I love Dokken. He's like, we're going to do Lightning Strikes Again. I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that.
Hell yeah.
So he went on stage and joined a few guys from Traveler joined him on stage, and a few guys from Liquor Messiah joined him on stage. And they jammed to, they did Lightning Strikes Again by Dokken. They did A Dangerous Meeting by Merciful Fate. And then they did Midnight Grind, which is actually my favorite song off of Slick Toxic. And I asked him ahead of time, I was like, well, what Slick Toxic song are you going to play? He's like, oh, it's one that I've never really even played much live when I was with. Oh, I'm losing my voice. He's like, it's one song that we never really played very much when I was in Slick Toxic, but it's one of the more obscure ones on the album. It's called Midnight Grind. I'm like, dude, that's my favorite song on the album. And he's like, really? Oh, I appreciate that. But yeah, so it's good then because you'll love it. So I just talked to him for like 2 seconds. I got a pic after that picture. He's a super nice guy. And oh yeah, he nailed it too. Even though he nailed Merciful Fate, like I couldn't believe it. Like Dangerous Meeting, like yeah. It was like he literally played like 3 of my favorite songs by like 3 different bands. I'm like, what the hell? It went on stage and he nailed it. What makes him a really good, it's a solid album if you're into like, it's not right.
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
Musically, I guess it's like Guns N' Roses, but vocally it's more, I think it's closer to Skid Row than Guns N' Roses, but it's its own thing. I don't know. I think it's its own thing.
Yeah.
And what he does now, he actually makes a decent living doing this. He's big in the Toronto area because he does this thing called Classic Albums Live. And they tour throughout Canada. Not throughout Canada. I know it's throughout Toronto, maybe throughout Canada, or just maybe throughout Ontario. They do full live performances of full albums from start to finish. And like with full orchestras. So they'll do like an entire Zeppelin album, and it's like note for note. They try to make it sound just like the album. So sometimes they have like 10 people on stage, and he always does the vocals. He takes part in this all the time. He did like a whole David Bowie one. He did a CCR one, Zeppelin, all over the map. And he's able to do the vocals for all these different bands. So he's a fantastic singer. He's not just a guy from like some old hair band or whatever you want to call this. So he's actually a really, really talented singer and can. So if you look that up on YouTube, Classic Albums Live, and type Nick Walsh, because there are other guys that have done vocals at certain times, but he does a lot of it now, and he's got to deal with them. So he probably makes. It was that or being Moxie, and no offense to Moxie, they're a great band. I love them. He had to choose between like committing himself to Moxie or this gig, right? And this probably pays more.
Probably paid better.
It's probably just he got to put food on the table, right? And so he just handed it as a resignation with Moxie. Said he loved his time there and just had fun with Moxie. Didn't wish any ill will towards them. There was no falling out. It was just one of those things where it's like, I gotta stay committed to this classic albums live thing because it's what pays the bills kind of thing. So yeah, great singer. They're not just, and this is like a professional thing, right? Like these shows are probably expensive to go to, so they're not just gonna hire some half-ass singer to go up there and sound like an idiot. It has to be done professionally. So it's a big, huge production. They got like 5 orchestras and everything, and they do like these big theaters. And so yeah, he's big into that now, doing all that. So that's my number 1 album of 1990 would be Slick Toxic, Doing the Nasty. And what's that mean? I don't know what Doing the Nasty means, but
I'm too innocent for that.
Yeah, we got cool songs. First song, Big Fucking Deal. Oh, I swore. I said a swear. What's weird, the last song is called Rachel's Dead. It's
I remember that one being kind of weird.
It's like an instrumental for the most part. And then at the end, the only lyrics are Rachel's breathing.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
I knew it was something weird.
It was like, what? I'm like, is she dead or is she breathing? But no, it's a great song. But yeah, got Hell of a Time. Sweet Asylum was a kind of a Sweet Asylum, and Hell of a Time had music videos. White Lies, Black Truth, I think, had a music video. Yeah, just great songs. The highlight though for me is Midnight Grind. To me, that's my favorite song on this album, and it was great that he played that live with Traveler on stage. That was really cool. That was a fun event. That was really fun. But yeah, it was cool to meet him. So it was nice that helps when at least one of the band members, anyways. I don't know. I've never met the others, but he was a really cool guy, and he's the singer. So it was really cool that he was such a nice guy. So that was a fun experience.
Yeah.
So then honorables, I guess I would go Slaves and Masters. I booted that off for the Helix one, I think it was. But
great album, man.
I like Slaves and Masters. Fire in the Basement's probably the highlight on that album.
Yeah.
I love that song. All 5 of the Halloween albums that came out in the 90s are all great. The 4 Blind Guardian 90s albums I love. The 2 Blaze Bayley Maiden albums I still love. Angel and the Gambler aside, I like that song until it gets to if you cut out the 7 minutes of him singing the same line over and over again. It's not 7 minutes, but yeah, that part's a bit rough, but yeah. I think it's a pretty solid list of what my musical tastes are. And then my overall of all time, it's just, I'm not going to sit here like talking about the albums because it's the same albums I've already talked about. So overall, it's mostly a 70s list. I'm going Rock and Roll Machine, the Triumph debut, Progressions of Power. So my top 3 are all Triumph. It's my favorite band. Then Then I went with Stained Class, Sweet Fanny Adams, Sad Wings, Riding High, Narita, Rock City, and then the Welcome to My Paradise. So
awesome, man.
That was my one foot in the 80s, sort of, because it's 1980 with the Progressions of Power at number 3, but mostly it's all 70s, really. And that's barely in the 80s. That's 1980 exactly. So
really 76 to 80 early, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But like I said, even these 90s albums I love. Like some of this 90s stuff, like I could do this list it's so hard doing these lists. None of these things are set in stone. Like I'll hop off and go to bed and I'll think while I'm laying in bed, oh my God, this album, I've heard this album 50 million times and I didn't even talk about it. It's just one of those things.
You always miss something, yeah.
Yeah. So now Logan's gonna do his list. Already got 2 hours and 22. Holy crap, this is a long show, but it didn't seem like 2 hours.
No, it goes by, man.
Holy crap, just shows you how long you can. I just don't shut up. This one. Oh yeah, this wouldn't have. Well, we couldn't have done. Oh my God, if you tried doing this too, we would have went on forever.
Yeah, would have been a long show.
But yeah, hopefully I can turn you on to some music. But like, I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna give some of them a go. Yeah, I think
most of these albums, most people have probably heard most of these. But if I were to recommend anything, I mean, I recommend all of it. But if I'm going to recommend anything, I guess check out the Annihilator, the Svengali, and not just because they're all Canadian, but I mean, I guess that's part of it because they didn't really get known too much.
Yeah, they weren't known
outside
over
of here. So it is kind of why I'm suggesting it because it's like you don't really ever hear these guys. I know Mike Ladano's I think Mike Ladano knows the Svengali stuff. I mentioned it I did a show on New Year's Eve with him. showing off like recent purchases and stuff. And one of them was the second Svengali album. I just grabbed it but yeah. So he knew that. Yeah, he probably knows all this stuff too. So he was around in the 90s. So yeah, knows all this stuff. But yeah, they were pretty big in Canada. They were pretty big in Canada at the time. Well, this is probably so expensive to get.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Like, if you were gonna get this, yeah, I know you'll never probably be able to get the original unless you want to break the bank. But you can buy this right off the Svengali website. You can, I think it's like, I don't even think it was very much. I think it was like $15.
Well, hey, the second album's $10 on eBay.
Is it? Let's see.
Yeah.
Hold on. Svengali website. Let's see where you can pick this up. Let's see. Merch. Here we go. Right here. And they did actually reform and got a couple of, I think they've done 4 albums now.
See, there's one called 3.
Yeah. Merch. Where's the merch here? Get album. Okay. Buy. I don't want to listen to it. I want to buy it. I know I found somewhere where you could buy the albums. I don't know where. Online store. There's it's weird.
Discogs ain't too bad. It's less than $20 on Discogs.
But I know there was an option to buy it. I saw it somewhere where you can actually buy it directly from the band. Buy now. Oh, here we go. Svengali store. Here we go. So you can get. Yeah, it's a bit pricey. Because the stuff is like, yeah, they never even.
Rare. I mean, it's hard to find now, probably. I'm sure.
Oh, it's not even on here anymore. It's sold out. The original album on CD is not on here anymore. They got remastered vinyl from 1993. Signed.
Wow.
You can get a signed copy for $49, which really, when you think about it, for a album on vinyl, and they're going to sign it, and you're getting it from them, and you're going to get a brand new copy signed by them. An unsigned one is $39, so you're only paying $10 for the signature. So, yeah, if you just want the thing without the sign, you can get it for $39 on vinyl. But they didn't. Yeah, they had the CD before, but it's not on here anymore. I guess that must have sold out because it was on here before. Get T-shirts. They got a whole. They got wow. They got a shot glass for this album cover. For Under the Influence. Oh my god. Be scared to drink out of it. This guy's screaming at me the whole time. Got beer holders, a vintage poster, a sew-on patch, a temporary tattoo skull. Oh my god.
Gotta get that.
T-shirts. They got women's T-shirts even too. They got stuff. They got even the newer albums they got on here for sale. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So they did actually reunite. Nice. They did get back together with a new guitar. Well, they had 2 guitar players, but they obviously had to replace the one that died a while ago. But yeah. But unfortunately, that's life, and this stuff happens. But yeah, you're gonna check out any of these bands. I would check out these 3: Svengali, Slick Toxic, and some of the Annihilator stuff.
So, I know the Slick Toxic. So the other 2, I might check out for sure.
All the Annihilator stuff, really, because it's all good stuff. But and all these other albums people have probably heard. So yeah, but, it wasn't too weird of a list, I don't think. I mean, I don't know how many people would pick Progressions of Power as their favorite album of the 1980s. Nobody.
Yeah, that might be the standout. Maybe.
That might be the standout. Even my 90s list was probably no one really, but it's 90s is where I
go. Your list, man. Yeah.
Yeah, this was fun to do. So yeah, thanks for whoever sat here for 2.5 hours, if anybody did, and listened to me talk about my favorite music. I never thought anyone would really care to listen to me talk about music for this long.
Hey, I did.
There you go. Logan didn't tune out. Motley Crue, I'm fucking out of here. They were honorables. They didn't make the list. But yeah, there's we'll end this video and I'll think of something, and I'll just be like, I can't believe I forgot to mention that. Like, even today,
we'll have to edit this and put it in.
Even today, I think I added like a whole bunch of more honorables today. Yeah, music is always fun to talk about. Yeah, see, it is always fun.
Got that right, Tom. Got that right.
It doesn't. Well, I mean, it can lead to arguments if you disagree on music, but you shouldn't really be arguing.
Well, but it shouldn't ever be like that. You
it's
know,
a stupid thing. It's a really dumb thing to argue about.
If I don't agree with you on one thing and you don't agree with me on one thing, I don't hate you over it. You know, I mean, it just is what it is.
Like this album? Do your ears work? Were you born without ears?
We'll say dumb shit like that to each other, but it's not like we're
joking around. Yeah. Everyone's just having fun talking music. It's
what it's all about.
Up next, politics and religion. No, that's how you lose friends. Yeah, so those are subjects you try to avoid, right? It's just all about music and having fun.
Well, like to wish everybody a happy Easter and holidays and everything. So,
yeah. Hope you're enjoying your. Hopefully, it was a good Friday to you watching this. So, yeah, exactly. It's one of those things, right? That's why it's fun just talking music. So it's not something that should divide people, really. But I mean, people have different. Oh my god. Some white chocolate, Logan. Yeah.
Well, Elle, I'm not in Russia, so yes, I will be getting some white chocolate.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, that video was blocked in Russia for copyright. But yeah, whatever. I think RCA. I think it's because more of like a. I don't know, I guess because of the whole thing going on in Russia. I guess certain record labels, if you use their music, they'll block it in Russia, which is whatever. I don't think we have any Russian video. Like, it's kind of annoying that they did that because, I mean, it's like I want anyone anywhere in the world to be able to watch our stuff, but I don't know if we have any people watching in Russia. I don't think so, but
never know, man.
Never know. Yeah. So,
there's somebody who's pissed right now. They can't watch this video. Well, let's watch this one.
This one's fine. Yeah. Anything with RCA, I think, will end up having the music blocked in Russia, which is strange.
Yeah. So don't play Rock and Roll Machine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. If I played any Triumph, blocked in Russia, blocked in Russia, blocked in Russia. Ridiculous. Anyways,
it's a fun show, though, man. This is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And again, we'll do this tomorrow, and my list will be different. No, I'm not gonna do another show. My top 70s. We're gonna do it every day. Do it again. My top 70s and 80s and 90s albums today. Can't redo any of these. Have a new list. That'd be ridiculous. Yeah, it's probably a good thing you didn't do yours. We wouldn't have been able to fit it into one episode. There's no way. Wouldn't have been able to talk.
We'd have to half it up.
Wouldn't have been able to talk about it as much, anyways, right? It would have had to just say, I like this album. Next. This one's the next one. This one's the next one. It would have just been like showing off albums at that point. Like, yeah,
you got to have reasons you like it.
Yeah. I like this. I like this too. I like this one.
And I had a good majority. I had about half of probably what you showed off. So that was cool.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah. And I think you pretty much like all this. Well, some of them you're probably not too keen on, but for the most part, you probably like a lot of this stuff, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Out of the 30 we talked about. Yeah, for sure.
Great stuff. But yeah. So fun show. Thanks for watching. So we're not doing anything. Logan's going away to see the family in Kentucky tomorrow.
grabbing my whatever knapsack and going.
He's walking to Kentucky. Yeah, he's walking all the way there.
It's gonna be a long walk.
Our next episode will be on the 26th next week on Saturday. We're going to be continuing our
8 o'clock
at 7.
7.
I think it was 7. Yeah, 7 Eastern. So I don't know what time it is for anyone else, but same start time as today's show on April 26th. We're going to be discussing the last 2 John Sykes solo albums. Was it Out of This World?
20th
century.
Nuclear Cowboy.
Nuclear Cowboy, yes. So we're going to be talking those. We're going to talk 20th
got some
century.
Australian friends joining us for that, right?
Yeah, we got our friend, new friend, Peter Kerr. So we got a all-star joining us for that one. Hopefully Danny Elkanah will be back. I know he hasn't been feeling well lately, so message him.
Get better, Danny, man. Yeah, we miss you, buddy.
So yeah, hopefully he'll be back to health and can join us. If not, then I'll wish him the best. And yeah, Peter Kerr's booked and he's confirmed. So we're doing it a little bit later on a Saturday because he's in Australia. So we're gonna end this with Feel Better Danny. Hope you get well soon. And I was glad to include your band here in the top 10. You just made the cut at number 10. So got there for my best albums of all time and in the 70s list. So he'll appreciate that. And then we're looking forward to having Peter Kerr on finally. That'll be really fun. An Australian on the show. That'll be fun. It'll be our first
Canadian, Australian, American.
Our first non-North American on the show. So there we go. That'll be fun.
Yep.
So thanks everybody for watching. And if you liked any of these albums, and feel free to make your list if you really want to. But you don't in the comments.
Put it in the comments, guys. Yeah.
Put in the comments what you would pick. Doesn't have to be like set in stone lists or anything. Just throw out albums that you really like that you think would.
Unless Lulu is your number one, get out.
Lulu, the Metallica Lou Reed album. It's like whoever thought that would work. But Metal Machine music.
Top 10.
Top 10, yeah. All right, so thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Keep rocking, guys.
Keep rocking.